Alright, g'day guys, welcome back to True Footy Live. It's time to thrive. Can you hear me? That is going to be the test. Microphone's plugged in, but every time I check, it's still only a 50-50 proposition as to whether the mic's actually working, so let me know if there's any audio coming through. Bear with me. Here's Sydney, come. That's it. Welcome, West Coast Eagles fan. Gatorade Aiden, hello. Yes, it does start in 15 minutes. Kicking off the stream a little bit early today. On my own. Because I have no friends. Callum's at work. Yes, says Gatorade Aiden says he can hear us. Thank you. Thanks, Hugo. Thank you, Bomber fan. Welcome. UCat's in the chat. Welcome, mate. I'm going to get the chat up here today so I don't have to keep looking at my phone. So that'll be real nice. Oh, welcome, Dylan. I do have one friend. Yeah. Dylan can't get away from it. He is a resident in this household. Welcome, Butchies. Yeah, it's just going to be me today. Druzy is attending the pretty exciting game, actually, the Under-19 Carnival. WA versus South Australia. He's going to be on the bench, not playing. He's going to be like, he does a bit of S&C for him as part of his prac, so that's cool. G'day, Mitchell. UCat says I can fix that on OBS. Yes. Oh, do you mean the audio? Oh, audio. Oh, UCat, if you can tell me how to fix it, I will do that right now. That'll be amazing. I understand nothing about this OBS game, or YouTube in general for that matter. Yeah, if you could let me know, that'd be amazing. I've just opened up the settings, but yeah, I got nothing. Anarchy wants to know, who do you think will win? I think City will win, but this is going to be tense, I reckon. The Giants are a good side when they want to be. They've beaten Sydney this year. It's a bit of a variable as well, this game being at Blunston. Some tricky conditions. I think the Swans have played at Blunston this year. They drew with North Melbourne. And I guess you could say they probably didn't handle it that well. And then to draw with North Melbourne, that being said, North were playing some decent footy at the time. And the Swans I don't think have played at Blunston this year. Let me know if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's the case. Or UTAS as it's called now. What do you guys reckon the chances are what do you think the chances are that Buddy kicks 8 today? Pretty slim, I would say. Yes, a couple of people saying that they're really liking the stream coming through the left ear only. I would love to fix that. You know what, I'll give it a cheeky Google while we're in the pre-game. Dylan's going to his own semi-final today for his amateur football team, which will remain unnamed. Hang on, OBS left ear only. Yeah.
Okay, goodbye.
See you, buddy. See you, Dylan. Good luck. Kick a bag. Let me see if I can fix this. Yeah. Oh, hang on. Properties. Advanced audio properties. Sorry, guys. Just trying to fix this. It says balances in the middle. I got nothing. I don't know what I'm doing here, guys. Anyway, back to the football. Still got a few minutes before it starts. That is a nice username to that last person. Who's going to play on Buddy? That's a good question. Is Sam Taylor... Let's have a look at the lineups. Is Sam Taylor able to take on the near 2-metre monster that is Buddy Franklin? Just having a look at their back line. Yeah, Sammy Taylor, Nick Haynes... Or how tall is Steen? He's tall. Surely Sam Taylor. He's listed as being on Buddy Franklin. I would have thought that was the logical one, and I really rate Sam Taylor. Good player. I think he might be a diversion, and the GWS players will focus on him while they target another forward. Yeah, that's probably a good way to go about it. I think Buddy... Is Heaney playing? Or is Heaney out? Oh, Heaney's on the wing, I see. I could see him having a big game and a big final series. He's a player that we're sort of waiting to take that next step to really announce himself as a truly elite player. But I feel like it's coming. I've just got a funny feeling. What do we got? There's a couple of questions that I skipped there that we'll get back up to. Anarchy reckons Heaney for 20 contested marks. That would be quite an effort. Port Adelaide last night were phenomenal. They were really good. I wasn't surprised because I tipped Port, but I probably didn't tip it to be as one-sided as it was. They really had Geelong in all sorts, and it was really telling when Geelong sort of had half opportunities to get back into the contest. There'd be like a desperate effort, a desperate defensive effort where they would just halve a contest that would normally be a mark to Geelong. Hawkins would just get spoiled at the last seconds, and they just couldn't get the momentum. So the dangerous to power, but I don't know what's happening with their prelim. Are they going to get a home prelim, or is that going to be potentially played in Perth? Because that's interesting. He's the best young defender in the league, and it's not even close. I presume you're talking about Sam Taylor. I'm a big fan of Sam Taylor. Oh, still have some coffee left. That's a nice bonus. Who's going to kick the first goal? I think Sydney kicked the first goal through Papley. He's going to be a little live wire today, as he so often is. The conditions will be tricky, hey? That's why I think it might be tough for maybe a key forward to kick a big bag. I actually haven't seen the conditions. I presume it's windy. It's always windy down there, but yeah, I don't know. It'd be interesting to see what the conditions are like. Anyone here in Tasmania, tell me what the weather's like, because it hasn't come up on the screen yet. I'd love a nice sunny day. Mind you, where did Buddy kick 13? Wasn't that at Blunston? Or was that Launceston? I got a feeling that might be Launceston. Did I stream the game last night? No, I was at work last night. I got home about halfway through the second quarter, so I couldn't commit to the stream. I would have if I'd been around. But my roommate Dylan's a Geelong fan. He was watching it and he wasn't very impressed. They have a weird record, Geelong, in the first finals. They've won, just 1 of 10 or something like that? I saw some silly stat. I can't remember what it was. But they are really poor in the first week of finals in particular. Butchie's got to go. He'll check in soon. All good, mate. Thank you. Catch you soon, mate. How's that Lawnmower 4.0 going? I haven't used it yet. My 3.0, I used last time. It's been a few weeks. I haven't been out to Metros lately, so haven't had a real reason to manscape, but I have got it 4.0. The reason being is because it got delivered to Bush's house about 4 weeks ago, and I only just picked it up on the Tuesday this week, so haven't used it yet, but it looks pretty snazzy. It looks real snazzy. Aurora Stadium, as it was called. Hey, Huntsman, welcome, mate. Are you the guy who put the username as I want to finger True Footy? Because that sounds like you. Launceston confirmed, thanks. How do you say that name? Caruso? I'm going to call you Caruso, mate. Overcast, no wind. Interesting. Okay. I just have a memory of Blunston's windy conditions being extremely hard to navigate, and that's why I felt like there was a period there when North Melbourne very, very hard to beat there because they seemed to handle it really well. I think we lost that game in 2018. We got smashed even though we were a good team that year. And I think we lost in 2015 as well when we were at the grand final. I just have negative memories of that ground. Will I stream tonight? I don't know, to be honest. I have nothing else to do tonight. But doing a live stream by yourself is exhausting. So we'll see how we go. I got an hour in between the games. I'm not ruling it out, but I'm a tired man. Have you guys seen how many videos I've been putting out lately? I don't mean to flex. I'm just saying I am tired. I'm literally working till midnight some nights. Caruso is in the NBA player. Nice one. Huntsman is blaming Hamish. Not sure if I believe you. BOG today. Good question, David. Let's have a look at the lineups. You know what? No, let's have a look at the lineups. Toby Green is one player that I can see being a big finals winning player today, to be honest. I'm kind of focusing on GWS, probably a bit much there, but if GWS win it, I'd say he's the match winner. For the Swans, BOG, probably Luke Parker, let's be honest. I want to go someone a bit more out there like Heaney to kick a bag of 4, but it's probably going to be a midfielder. It's crazy that this is a derby. It's a shame that this game can't be played in Sydney to showcase. Obviously the city market isn't as passionate about AFL, but to see a big city derby in a final in Sydney, that would have been cool. Thanks, William. Thanks for joining us, mate. Appreciate it. Streams are good fun. Crazy Demigod says all the vids from the one podcast. Yeah, all the season reviews so far of the 10 teams that missed the finals they're all from the same podcast that we filmed. If you want to listen to the whole podcast, you can now listen to the True Footy podcast on Spotify. I haven't sorted out iTunes yet, but coming soon. But if you have Spotify, you can listen to the whole one there, or you can just wait for them to come out. By the end of next week, they're all going to be up. So I've got like 1 or 2 a day coming out for the next week. I just hope that Bud kicks his 1,000 in front of a big crowd and everyone storms the field. That's true. That would be cool. Is that a tradition to storm the field in 1,000? I know it's for 100 goals in a season. I wonder if they would storm it. It's a bit different these days with COVID and quarantine and stuff like that. So, got any punts on us, Ben Drew? That's a good question. I don't. I have 5 minutes. Gamble responsibly, guys, by the way. But for a bit of fun, might deposit a couple of bucks. Let's do it. I'm going to put in $5 because I'm not rich. So lining up for the national anthems now. Heath's wondering who's playing. Oh, this is a bit of a dead rubber between two sides that are not going to go deep this year, Heath, so probably not worth watching. Okay. See, I do think Sydney will win. They're paying $1.70, but GWS are paying $2.14. Sydney have been much better this year. So I'll back them in. It has been so long since I've bet that I have forgotten how to do a same game multi, to be honest. Sydney 1-39. First goal scorer. Nah, I'm not going to bet on first goal scorer. Too risky. I think it'll be low scoring and the over-under is 156, so that's about 78 each. I'll go under 156.5. So what's that? I can do a 3-legged multi for $4. It's not really. I need to add something else here. Any suggestions? Goal scorer market. Anytime goal scorer. Or Hayden McLean for $1.57. Toby Green 15, Parker 25. I like that actually. Disposal markets. To get 15 or more disposals. Tom Hickey, nah, he won't. I don't reckon. Show all. Toby Green $1.25. I like that one. I'm in a race against time to get my bet in here, boys. Sorry. 20 or more disposals. Will Heaney get 20? Nah, I reckon Heaney will kick a few goals and have like 18. Taranto, $1.22. Isaac Cumming. Boy, does he. 25 or more. What are the suggestions for 25 or more? You got Parker. I did say he was going to be my BOG. I might copy you there, mate. There's only about 10,000 people here, says Void x2 Gaming. What is the capacity of UTAS anyway? It's pretty big for Tasmania to get finals. They must be pretty happy with it. After all the drama they've had this year with getting a new license and stuff. Alright, I'm going to put $5 on my multi. So I had Sydney head-to-head, Sydney 1-39, doubling up there, under 156 points. Toby Green to get 15 or more, and Luke Parker to get 25 or more. I feel like that's pretty safe, but I often get these wrong. I suck at tipping. Alright, sorry, back to the chat. Gil said for people not to storm the field, and there'll be more security. The security won't stop 20 to 30,000 more people. I agree. Are there enough, if it happens today, are there enough people in Tasmania that are passionate enough about Buddy and Sydney to run to the field? Maybe. You might get a few. It'd be so weird if like 15 people run out. Caruso says Taranto playing forward, so don't take his disposals yet. It's a good call. I didn't in the end. Hickey'd have 15 clearances. Bomber Hills, okay, and Huntsman that say 20 to 30 or 25k. Yeah, fair enough. So that is a little bit underwhelming, actually. Well, actually, that was an estimate, wasn't it? 10k people. Do they have restrictions on how many people can go to this game, Tasmania? Because I feel like they're okay with COVID, aren't they? But if it's true that they can fit 25,000 people and only get 10,000, that is a bit of a concern. This is a big final. You know, this is the first final in Tasmania, right? OJ Play says, you want 15k subs this year? I do, mate. I want 15k by grand final day. So my first little micro goal, and a micro goal is a goal for someone with a micro penis, just to clarify. My micro goal is to get 14,000 by the end of August. So I'm within about 60 of that. So if you haven't subscribed, help me there. And then 15k by grand final day. But that's a pretty wild guess, wild goal. I just need to feature on some more Caden McDonald videos. If you haven't seen that, go check that out. Made my debut on his channel. Why did the second elimination final happen first? That happens quite a lot. They're just listed as the second one, but then after they do that, they decide which games are first. Yeah, so sometimes the second qualifying final first as well. Huntsman says Green gets suspended for clocking Buddy in the jaw. That is something Toby Green would do, to be honest. Joe says, how you going, Jesse? Welcome, mate. I'm going well, thanks, other than just being tired. 14k right around the corner. Yes, it's been fantastic, so thanks for all the support lately. Just been head down, bum up on YouTube. So, yeah, it's nice that people have jumped on. Appreciate it. All right, we're about to bounce down. GWS wearing that cool jumper. It is kind of weird that you can't see more of the G, though. I would have thought they'd make it at least a solid orange G. Rampy sends the ball forward. Ooh. We're underway. I'm hoping for a cracking game today. Huntsman made 2 other bets. Mate, you're not 18. I don't support that. David says dogs or dons tomorrow. I'm going to back in the dogs, who have been written off by most people for their indifferent form. I think they will win. But they have been average. And this game's in Tasmania. Did Essendon go alright in Tasmania? I think, well, they don't really play there, do they? But they played Hawthorn this year and they won. So, small sample size. Hickey 70 disposals and Buddy kicking 13. Imagine Buddy kicking 13. Again. So the players I need to get their hands on the footy are Toby Green and Luke Parker. Isaac says you start making extra accounts. I'm not telling you to do that, but I'm also not telling you not to do that. I'm just kidding. Tickets for this match were selling for over $300 on eBay. What? What? But you'd think it would sell out then. That's bizarre. They must have... If that's true, they've got to have a capacity limit that's only about half the crowd. That's strange. Very strange. And the Giants go forward. Canelio takes a mark in the pocket, right hard up against the boundary line. It's going to be a tough shot, depending on the breeze as well. But the Giants are likely to open the scoring here. Essendon has a better record in history at Tassie than the Dogs. Yeah, right, okay. But how long ago does history matter? I think that Essendon haven't played there much lately. I'm not really disagreeing with you as such, but like they could roll the Dogs for sure. And the Dogs have been, well, they were poor in their last. It was round 22 was their last game in Tassie, and they were quite poor against Hawthorn. So, yeah, fair point. Yeah, I guess Essendon beat Hawthorn there, and the Dogs didn't. So, by that logic, it makes sense. It is sold out. COVID restrictions of 50%. Okay, thank you for clarifying that. I wasn't sure. What is the Tasmanian COVID situation? I would have thought they'd be all right. I'm going to Tasmania in January to a wedding for Joycey, friend of the channel, co-founder actually. Huntsman clarifies that his bet was in his imagination. Probably the best place to make bets, so nice call. Papley with a stunning mark. That was really good. Oh, that was a great contest on the far bigger Nick Haynes. Nick Haynes is a beast of a man, and a 50-metre penalty been paid. So, did I say Papley for first goal scorer? I did. I said it out loud. It doesn't count for anything because I didn't put it in my bet. But holy shit. He says, if Buddy kicks 13, I'll tattoo his face onto my face. I would pay to see that. I hope he kicks 13. Yeah, Papley's kicked first goal scorer. I didn't bet on it. I said it out loud, but that's just... I can't believe I didn't bet on that. That's so dumb. God damn it. That would be the only time in my life that I correctly tipped the first goal scorer. I remember in the 2005 grand final, I went to a party. It was the Sydney versus West Coast. And I got Travis Gaspar. You had to pick a name out of the hat for first goal scorer. I don't know why. But I got Travis Gaspar, and he was at least playing full forward. He sucked, but he was full forward, so I was pretty happy. And the guy next to me plucked Mark Nikoski, and everyone laughed at him because he was playing on the half-back flank, and Mark Nikoski kicked the first goal for the 2005 grand final. That was amazing. Are you feeling deflated that the Eagles won't feature this weekend, or feeling indifferent? Good question. I'm probably just flat that the games are over for the year. I don't particularly yearn for the Eagles in the finals right now because I just don't think we would be competitive, to be honest. So it's a case of, yeah, we could have scraped in, but even playing the Dogs in Tasmania, I wouldn't be confident at all we would make that a good contest. And that's with the Dogs out of form too. So yeah, I am deflated in the sense that there's no more Eagles games. Oh, Buddy has... Sam Taylor did very well there. I thought he might have infringed, but nothing paid. Although Papley is going to line up to double up to be the second goal scorer as well. Did Buddy drop that, or was he spoiled or infringed? I don't know. Papley sleeps with the lights on. That was a very good mark. Okay, yeah. They're saying great spoil by Taylor. I looked away for the replay. Would Buddy be unstoppable if he had lots of hair? You might have to elaborate on that one. Can't imagine Buddy with hair. Papley lines up. Oh my God, that is a great pass. That was an absolute shank. I do think the goal kicking conditions will be tough, so I'm liking my bet of the under, to be honest. Fun fact, Essendon have never lost at UTAS. There you go. That is a fun fact. Oh, thank you, Phaser. Much better commentator than BT. Appreciate it, although that is not hard. Papley again. He's been everywhere. Getting plenty of the ball. And Sydney winning the territory battle at the moment. They've got another free kick for a hold. Is that Wicks? Or he centered it. Oh, it just looks like that Breeze is holding up that path, that switch. Don't know. I could be talking a lot of shit about a Breeze that's not actually there. No, I think we saw from that Papley kick, even though he shanked it, it does look windy out there. Like Mike says, good call. Making up the numbers and being thrashed, ousted in the first week would throw salt in the wounds. Yeah. And I think I would feel different if, we were a young side who hadn't made the finals in a while. I would see the value of, okay, at least qualifying for a final, getting that experience would be handy. But in terms of the Eagles, their finals experienced, I don't think we would have gained too much from making a final only to lose it. I think there's benefit from us having that extra time to get the players to recover. I think we saw with Richmond this year, and I think West Coast as well, I hope that we benefit from a longer off-season and rest some bodies, because we've made finals 7 or 8 years in a row, made 2 grand finals in that time, and then obviously last year it went the off-season started late October, so yeah. That's my optimistic take on that. Sydney, the Giants going forward now. Whitfield finds Toby Green. He's got a disposal. He just misses Hogan. Just overcooked that kick a little bit. Should these GWS jumpers be their main ones, asked Dylan. I do like it. It is cool. Can anyone clarify why they're wearing this particular jumper and when do they wear this jumper? Is it meant to be some sort of clash? Because they wore it against Sydney earlier this year. But to answer the question, I do like the mostly dark colour. I would probably change the G to a solid orange G. But I think the colour scheme looks cool. The Doggies have only won 2 games at UTAS in its history. I feel like they would play at Tassie a fair bit. So how many losses? Gandhi says, so many good teams this year. Yeah, that's true. And the same with next year. Like I was thinking, who would I put in my ladder prediction for next year? And I've got a bunch of teams outside the 8 that I can make a case for making it, but it's harder to pick teams in the 8 this year that are going to miss next year. So I think we're going to have, another very competitive season next year. Do you think Josh Kennedy will retire? I think he's come out and said he would like to play on in a radio interview or something like that. But until it's signed up, it's no guarantee. I think he will play on, is my prediction. It's a hot footy out there, as you expect, early stages of a final. Oh, Ward does well to get the handball out. No, they've paid it a throw. Couldn't tell. It's an away strip. So have they worn that every away game? Have they? That can't be right. I feel like I haven't seen it that many times this year. And against North, they wore their normal jumper with white shorts, I feel. Could be wrong. Light Mike says, speaking from the neutral perspective, I'd prefer the top 8 filled up with viable contenders. Eagles would not represent that this season. Yeah, that's true. Although 7th and 8th are rarely viable contenders. Oh, do you mean for the flag, or do you just mean you want to see the best teams make it? Because I agree that the Eagles have not been in the top 8 quality sides this year. If I was a neutral, I would also support the idea that I'd rather see a young Essendon side make it. Been better to watch this year. That being said, I would still love to have made the finals this year, but it's more like I'm just saying I don't really feel gutted that we're not, playing this week. I think it also helps that being Toby Green is lining up and the Giants are in front. Well done, Toby Green. That was a great soccer as well. On Caden's predictions video, I did highlight him as the player to watch this final series, so I'm just going to jump on that if he starts playing well, and if he doesn't, I will stop mentioning it. What was I saying? I was going to say, I think the fact that it's distracting me from the Eagles not being here as well is the fact that I've got a YouTube channel that is going to be a huge focus for me over the next 4 weeks. So I'm just kind of happy that the finals are here and it's exciting. It's fine. No, against Hawthorn they didn't. That was an away game. Good point. Actually, Huntsman, I think Hawthorn were the away side of that, even though it was the MCG. I think Hawthorn wore the white shorts and GWS wore the charcoal shorts. I reckon you'll find. It was listed as GWS versus Hawthorn. Unless there's another game that I'm forgetting, but I'm thinking of the one at the MCG where the Giants, supposedly hosted it. Swans go forward. It looks like row bottom from there. McLean, did I put McLean as an anytime goal scorer? Let's have a look. I've already forgotten. Let's have a look. Sure. See legs and more. No, I didn't. I didn't in the end. I pussied out. Cool. Hello, Riley Cameron. Welcome to the stream. Rats, says Huntsman. Sweet. Thank you for the guys for tuning in today. If you could do us a favour and hit like, that would be much appreciated. So Luke Parker is the man that I've got in my bets, needing 25 or more. He's had 2, so hopefully he works his way into the game. Huntsman says it was a home game for GWS. Yes, that's right, yeah. Bomber Hill says, I'm happy that Essendon made finals knowing that they will give them final experience and knowing that they have one of the brightest futures. If they keep making finals, Essendon will become a dynasty. Big call. Some of the best teams that I've ever seen have gone on to not make a dynasty, including Essendon in 2000 when they were considered one of the most dominant premiership teams. So I like your optimism, but they got to win a final first. And it'll be big if Essendon win a final, considering all the off-season talk about the last year was all, very negative. Mitchy Buttsworth in the chat. Welcome, mate. Good to have you. How are you going? How are you feeling on the eve of your team playing in a final? 11 minutes to go in the first term, and the Giants lead it by a point. Row bottom. Oh, that's a good mark. Steen. Oh, the coverage just dropped out for a second. That was scary. Dex is here, says yes. Thoughts on Ronaldo coming back home? As a Liverpool fan, I'm annoyed. I kind of would almost prefer he went to Man City for the lols, but also we know Man City's probably going to win the league anyway. Whereas I still kind of had hope that Liverpool could finish higher than Man United. I don't know. I think there's a chance Liverpool could once again prove to be better than how people rate their best 11 versus other clubs. And I'm still optimistic, but yeah, Ronaldo to United makes me think it's going to be very hard for us to be better than this year. Mitch says he's quietly confident. I reckon we can give the Dogs a run for their money. Yeah, I agree. I have tipped the Dogs, but there's definitely... Oh, Toby Green again. Another goal. There you go. Loving my call so far. I need him to get 15 touches though, so if he can fire off a couple of cheap 1-2s, that'd be helpful. Huntsman says he would never dog the boys at Man U. So yeah, I wonder where that story came from. Thank you, Huntsman, for that good modding. I'm guessing you're not that user then, after all. I wonder where that talk came from, where he'd agreed terms for Man City. Was that completely false, or was it actually based on Ronaldo seriously considering Man City? EPL transfer rumours can be all over the place in terms of their accuracy. The AFL, by contrast, doesn't come up with as much bullshit, but not yet anyway. Mitch has tipped us as anyone would, and just think if Stringer gets going, there won't be any stopping us. Man, it would be huge if Essendon win a final. When was the last one? Was it 2002 or was it 2004? Because in 2002 it was against us. I remember that. That was the first final I ever saw the Eagles play. Heaney. It's going to be a dangerous play in the forward 50 today. Hayward fumbles it. Costly. And the Giants looking maybe not clearly better of the two teams, but looking pretty good. Who will steal more Brownlow votes off each other, McRae and Bond or Petrarca and Oliver? Oh, that's very hard to say. Probably Petrarca and Oliver, to be honest. But it's pretty even to say. Oh, Taranto cops one high, is it? Wins the free kick. 2004 versus Melbourne. Okay, there you go. Thanks, guys. Yeah. Did they get knocked out by Port that year, I want to say? Maybe not. Maybe I'm talking shit. I feel like they did, but maybe I got that wrong. The Giants go deep, but it's out of bounds. What's up, says Jake the Fish. Not much, mates. Just tuning into a pretty good game of football so far. How are you? Man, now I think of it, if the Swans get knocked out week 1, that would be not a big deal in terms of their big picture, but just the narrative around the Swans this year, how positive it's been, how they rated our outside chance. It would be crazy if they went out week 1. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but just taking a sec to think about that. Parker finally gets a disposal. He finds Buddy, who passes it off. And there's no one home. The Giants get numbers back. Oh, Bit of a throw from Cumming. Heaney. Oh, that's great play from Heaney. That is a goal. Good play. It's been a great, even contest so far. Just looking at some team stats, the Giants have had slightly more touches, but the Swans 12 inside 50s to 6. There you go. Didn't realise it was that one-sided. Clearance is pretty even. Contested possession is pretty even. Hey, Isaac Smith from Carlton. Dex says, I'm Essendon. I would love to see Essendon versus Melbourne game like 2000. Yeah, that would be cool in terms of Essendon winning by 10 goals if you're an Essendon fan. Can Essendon... I think Essendon would need to win 2 finals and then make a prelim and hope that the D's lose in week 1 to play Essendon. Is that right? So if Melbourne lose this week, they would host... Actually, no. Hang on. Sorry. I think if Melbourne lose week 1 and Essendon win... Is that right? Because I feel like Geelong is playing the winner of this game, so that must be true, yeah. So yeah, Melbourne versus Essendon could happen, actually. That being said, I don't like your chances in that game, to be honest. He says his ears are fucking ringing. Where are you watching the game from today, mate? Is Melbourne still in lockdown, hey? I couldn't remember if the lockdown's still going or if it's just coming out of it. Just going back up a bit, sorry. I missed a chat from Mitchie. Says, pretty sure a lot of the past United players rang Ronaldo and said, what the fuck are you doing going to City? And I also don't think getting Ronaldo is something Pep would actually do, personally. Interesting. I don't really know or follow it enough to know what Pep would or wouldn't do, personally. But yeah, that's really interesting if it's true, if they talked him out of going to City. And I tend to agree. If I was a Man United fan, I'd be absolutely filthy if he joined City. De Boer from pack, that's going to push wide from behind. Oh, and Joe says Sir Alex Ferguson weighed in as well. Wow, big call. Bomber Hills reckons that Luke Jackson will go home and play for Freo for Cherry some draft picks. I reckon there's no chance, mate. I reckon he's happy at the D's. Surely he wouldn't want to go home and play for Freo when you're playing for Melbourne right now. And he wouldn't want to go to West Coast either for that reason, same reason. Parker with another disposal. Oh, Dawson. He's an interesting player to watch. Heath, what do you reckon is going to happen with Dawson? He's still out of contract. Welcome Kev says, we're still in lockdown. Regional Victoria are in their 7th lockdown. Far out. When's it going to end? And that's not a rhetorical question. I just mean, when is your current lockdown scheduled to end? The entire suburb of Hawthorn will hear me yell. Oh, Papley. Great tap. Nah. Across the face. Oh. Ooh. Did Haynes kind of infringe on Bell there? No. Not paid. Out of bounds. Essendon versus Western Bulldogs tomorrow afternoon. That's true. I don't know if I'll be able to live stream that, but we'll see. The day is young. The weekend is young, rather. Chris says, get around Jesse Hogan. Are you a Hogan fan, Chris? Or you just kind of wanted to see him do well? Fair enough. If Ronaldo went to Man City, he is Kevin Durant's older snake brother. Yeah, I kind of agree, to be honest. As a Cats fan, if Sydney win, we're done. You reckon? So you think you'd be confident of knocking off GWS, or at least somewhat confident, but against Sydney, you reckon you'll lose? I don't know. Sydney are definitely good enough to knock you off. They've done it earlier this year, and it will be in Perth, I think they're saying. Oh, that is an average kick. Kelly makes it work. Kelly with the old bend and snap. Legally Blonde reference. Huntsman's still filthy on Izzy Smith going to the Cats. Yeah, that one seems weird to go to a pretty traditional rival. Very interesting. When was the last time a player played for Collingwood that went to Carlton? I know it's happened. Daisy Thomas. What about Collingwood to Richmond? Are there any players that have switched between Collingwood and Richmond? Sorry, the Giants are going inside 50 here. Oh, Kelly's just spilled that. Yeah, that incorrect disposal. Good tackle there from Florent, I think it was. Got to get around Hogan, distant Cousins. Really? There you go. That's cool. How do you think this Chera situation plays out? Who wins that deal? You know what? Fremantle are very good at extracting everything out of a trade. Carlton, McLean takes this strong mark. He finds Buddy, puts pressure on him, hard up against the... he sold the dummy very well there. That is a great goal. He just made that defender look silly and the Swans hit the front. What the hell was I talking about? Cane Corns. Sweet, sorry. Cane Corn suggested if we... hang on. Sorry, we'll get to the Cam Guthrie question as well. So the chats are coming in thick and fast. Appreciate it, guys. The Cherry situation, I think Fremantle will get at least pick 6 out of that, to be honest. But I think pick 6 is about right for an out-of-contract player. Sammy G says he's scared for tomorrow, but hoping we'll win. Welcome, mate. Yeah, it'll be fun. Just try and enjoy the day. Heath says, I reckon Parker and Dawes stay. We lose Stevens, Hewitt, and Reid. Hewitt, is he linked back to South Australia? He's South Australian, right? I could see maybe a Stevens to Adelaide or Hewitt to the Crows. To Port, or the other way around, don't know. How do you think... there we go. Hang on. What do you think Cam Guthrie would be worth considering? He is out of contract. Kane Corn suggested if we lose next week, then maybe trade someone like him to get picked. Who are the likely teams that would be on the market for a 30... He's 30, if I'm not mistaken, Cam Guthrie. 30-year-old midfielder who's playing pretty well, All-Australian last year. Buddy has just overcooked that. You know what? I don't know if there's another top contender that would really be in the market for a Guthrie, to be honest. Richmond have highlighted a need for another midfielder for that transition. He's probably got a few years left, but I think they would probably prefer someone around 28 and younger. Unless I've got his age wrong there. I could see him being Gold Coasted. But that being said, I just don't think Kane Corns is... I think he's kind of talking out his hole as Hayward takes a mark. I don't think it happens too often that good quality valued players get shopped around like that. It is starting to happen more, but what's he worth? Gold Coast second rounder, to be honest. I just think with the amount of years he has left, or the lack of years he has left, I don't know if his value is going to be that high, to be honest. Hayward has missed to the far side. Alright, starting to catch up. But GWS beat them as well, and at GMHBA, yes. Yeah, he's weighing in on the who would Geelong rather play next week. Oh, here we go. Heath Scotland, yes, for solo. Good call. True. What about Collingwood and Richmond? Heath has worked with Cam Guthrie through work at my uni. Oh, cool. Yeah, he seems like a nice bloke. He wants 4-year big money contract. Sorry, who are we talking? I'm getting lost, boys. So many different conversations happening at the same time. Jake the Fish just up. Thanks, mate. Appreciate it. Trying to get to 14,000 by the end of the month, so a couple of days left. So I appreciate anyone who does hop on today. Thoughts on Hopper? Oh, g'day, Modal Soul Media. Go check out his channel. Good channel. I really like Hopper. What context? He got in the All-Australian squad, hey. Having a very good season. Yeah. No, fan. No real strong views other than the fact that I rate him. David Cloak, Brian Taylor. There you go. What about some modern ones? In terms of played for Collingwood and Richmond. I don't know why I'm asking this question. I'm just kind of curious. And you guys are so good at doing a lot of my research for me. The Corn Cob just subbed. Thanks, mate. Appreciate it. Buddy count at 993. True. Oh, if I thought about it, I probably could have got a little buddy counter down there. But then again, I'm not so good at that editing stuff on the fly. Mitch says, biggest All-Australian snub. Good question. There was Crisp Travis Boak, probably. He wasn't even picked in the squad. That was a bit of a surprise. He's huge. He's going to be a massive player this final series. Jesse, do you think the Eagles go for a local talent or the best overall talent with pick 10? I think we will go for best overall talent. Trying to think of the last time we went local in the first round of the draft. Well, we didn't have the first rounders the last 2 years. 2017 we went Brander. 2016 Venables. They're both kind of Victorian. I think Brander's New South Wales as well, / Victorian. 2015 we didn't have a first rounder. 2014 Duggan. So it was back with Sheed in 2013 the last time we went local in the first round. So I think it'll be best available, and I don't think we'll pick up a Neil Erasmus who's sort of been linked to us because he's a WA kid. I just think we'll take the best available kid. I reckon we'll probably take a key position player, to be honest. Motorsoil Media is referring to potential trade talk with Hopper. Okay, thank you. I wasn't sure what the context was. What's his contract status? That's something that's news to me. That would be a massive recruit for Hawthorn. And I think that would be someone Richmond should really throw their hat in the ring for as well. Chris said, anyone know if Rioli played in the Waffle? I did read somewhere on Big Footy, not that that's ultra reliable, but someone said that we've only got like 4 listed players playing today, and Rioli was not one of them. Bailey Williams was a laid out, but I think we had like Winder and True and a couple of young guys playing. And I think the rest either rested or something, I don't know. Liam Pryor points out that Jake Steen's most disposals in the game is 10. He's had 9 to quarter time. Wow, didn't notice that. Void Gaming says, yeah, Stringer needed to be AA. That's a good shout. Whether or not I would have picked him on the field, I don't know, but he should have. It was very close, I think. Stephen McKee played for Richmond and Collingwood. Yeah, there you go. No idea who that is. But there you go. It doesn't seem to be many trades between those clubs for a while. Titch was an okay suggestion for AA. Yeah, you just have to be very, very good to be an All-Australian midfielder. Like, there were some elite mids that missed out. And is that a goal? That is a great goal. Was that Taranto? Yes, it was. Let's go to Kicking Boots back on this week. And the Giants at the front now. This game keeps swinging. Best ranked player Stringer since like round 14. Yeah, interesting. He's really good. Bomber Hill says he's heard about Dunkley signing a 3-year deal with the Dogs. I did hear that he had sort of changed his mind and wanted to stay. I'd heard that earlier this year. People say Hawks have an old side, but we only have like 6 players over 30 and not including Silk. Yeah, interesting. They do have some young talent, Hawthorn, and then they've got some really good veterans. It's probably their middle-aged players that... Well, you got Mitchell, you probably include him as mature age. I have said that their team should probably be better than where it was for most of their season. Did I also read that Gunston wants out of Hawthorn? Is that confirmed? Did I dream that? I've been sleeping heavy lately. So I generally don't know what I'm dreaming and what I'm not anymore. Downfield free kick against Mumford. Give the kick to Parker. Come on, mate. 50 seconds to go. The Giants lead it by 1, but Sydney have a shot. And I can't see who has the ball, but whoever it is going for goal. It's McLean. Wise Guy says, hey Jesse, we share the same name. It's a Warriors name. Yes. I believe it's a Hebrew name, actually. So I'm told. I'm not Hebrew in the slightest, but there you go. Just some... that is 52-metre kick that has been pushed wide, and probably fittingly, this quarter ends dead even. Well, it's 20 seconds to go, but failing against turnover. Huntsman says, no, it's fake. There you go. Wingard as well, yeah. With that many mids selected in the AA, it's hard to say anymore. We're snubbed. Good point. I did think Titch had one of his best years, though. I agree. I think he really built into a really, really good season, Tom Mitchell. After, understandably, he dropped off that momentum after that leg break. But he's back. But I do think he really needs to be supported by other elite mids. I don't think he's not quite a game-breaking midfielder that can carry their teammates as much as some other elite players, like a Clayton Oliver or something like that. Mind you, that team's very good too, that midfield. Anyone watch the Backchat 2.0 with Schofield? No, I didn't, Chris. Didn't see that. You might still be on the caps if you're saying that. Wait, what? Who are you talking to? Me. What are we talking about? Oh, I say that. No, I'm not on any kind of caps. Not a big hat wearer. Wingard has been elite this year for Hawthorn. Still won't match him at Port. I see what you're saying, yeah. Fergus says, I'm going to the game tonight at Adelaide Oval. I could be your correspondent if streaming. Oh, nice one, Fergus. I don't know if I'm going to stream tonight, but that's so cool. Who do you go for? Who do you be supporting? It's kind of a shame that Adelaide doesn't have full capacity, like finals, but it is what it is. We can't control the situation. James Sicily will be so good next year, Huntsman. Interesting. Coming back from an ACL, though, you never know. I'd be interesting to see. Maybe I should do a video on it, or maybe someone better like Modal Soul Media could do a video on it. But how players coming back after ACLs and their output. I don't know if I can be bothered. Aaliyah is bloody good, Mozzie. Yeah, it was great to see him get rewarded for that All-Australian spot. And while Sydney have had a great year, it must pain them a little bit to see that. Wiedering robbed of AA. I don't know. I think the guys that were picked... Let's get the All-Australian team up, actually. Let's get it up. I was going to do a video on it, but I kind of missed the boat. I've just been really busy with all the other stuff. Let's get it up. This is... Hope this isn't the squad I've got open. Oh yeah, Stephen May and Elliot were the keys, and Lever. Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't say Wiedering was robbed. Those three players had amazing seasons. Tom Stewart and Daniel Rich. Yeah, it was good to see Bailey Dale rewarded as well. He's been incredible. I would never have predicted that Bailey Dale would be an All-Australian player one day. And, yeah, that midfield, you couldn't really swap anyone out, could you? Took Miller and Jack Steele made the bench. Parrish as well. It's really hard to suggest that someone like a Tom Mitchell was better than any of them, but he was very good. Henry was Geelong's best last night. I did think that as well. He was very good. Felt like he was getting a lot of marks. I want the D's to capture the flag. Yeah, me too. Me too. Halo 2 style. Man, some of these kids in here would never have played Halo 2. Halo 2 was like a huge part of my childhood. ACLs, man, just gives me PTSD with Mira and Morapito at the Dockers. True. Yeah, them and concussions are the one thing, or the two things I'd want out of the game. In terms of, yeah, they're just horrible things to sustain, and not everyone comes back from them the same way. What a feisty quarter. I reckon we're in for a treat. I agree, Harry. Hopefully it stays close. I feel like if one team's going to break away, it'll be Sydney. But hopefully it doesn't happen. Hamish says, I feel like they should have at least put Shannon in the 40 squad. I think Hearn only played like 15 games, right? He was very good, but I don't know if he was quite All-Australian quality. I was really happy Nat Nui did get it. I think he deserved it. Does Wiedering really deserve it after conceding 7 against Zerha? Larky, you mean? Yeah, don't know. I mean, it's just one game. I get your point. But maybe they had that as a deciding factor. Fergus says Shannon Hearn is from my local club. That's cool. Toby Green is a star, Charlene. I agree. He has been unreal. He, highlighted him as one of my players, actually my main player to watch this final series. So he's living up so far. Halo 4 was my favourite on Xbox 360. I was a little bit older when Halo 4 came out. I did play it, but I think it depends what age you are when you play these games as well. G'day AFL 18, I'm good, thanks mate. How are you? Thanks for joining the stream. Does Geelong rebuild if they don't win the premiership this year? Nah, I think it's similar to West Coast, who are probably obviously way further off the flag than Geelong, so it is a little bit different. But I think there's a case of you still just got to have as many swings as you can while you're at the top and then just cop the rebuild. And I think the thing with Geelong is their stars retire, let's say. They get $500,000 extra salary cap for each player that retires, they'll just recruit another young gun, like dare I say it, a Hayden Young. It just comes to mind because he's from Vic Country. I don't actually know specifically where he's from, but I think Geelong can sustain this strategy for a while, more so than other clubs. How do you see the rest of this game playing out? I feel like Sydney will break away. I don't know. You know what? Actually, I feel like I could see the Giants sort of nursing a 3-goal lead for most of the game and Sydney coming back and winning. I don't know. It's close, but I'm still thinking Sydney. What do you think is the future for Sam Wiedemann? Well, it's not a situation I've monitored that closely, but yeah, like to be out of the side right now and out of contract, it's a bad combo. I think he might actually end up at someone like I'd imagine a Collingwood would surely be throwing their hat in the ring, needing a good young key forward prospect. They've seemingly given up on the Mason Cox experiment. He did actually have a fairly long career at Collingwood, but I could see him going to someone like a Collingwood, to be honest. Oh my God, what if Buddy retired on 999? Yeah, there's a bit of talk that he would hit 1,000 and retire this year, but if I'm not mistaken, his contract's so back-ended that he's probably giving up like $900,000 if he retires a year early. So I think he'll play on. Parker wins the clearance, you beauty. Oh, good mark from McLean. And the Swans are looking to go inside 50. He says my biggest fear is he gets to 999 and does his knees. Oh yeah, but think of the story. That would be a great video. I'm just kidding. I really hope he doesn't either. It's funny that you say that, Modal Solve, because I was just thinking that would be a great video for you to do if Buddy got to 999 and retire. I did watch that video you made. It was an absolute ripper. Papley. Oh, it's just going to fall short. Haynes marks on the last line. Even utter that phrase. Sydney will break away Kelly Clarkson style. God. Is that a song by Kelly Clarkson? I'll take your word for it. Let's get up the stats. I want to see Luke Parker disposal watch. Same with Toby Green. I hope it's a hot game the whole time so Toby Green gets plenty of the footy. Steens had 10. So Parker has 8. So, yeah, on track. And where's Toby Green? Toby Green's only had 3? Come on, mate. He's only on track for 12. Fuck's sake, what was I thinking? How long will Collingwood stay towards the bottom of the ladder? Well, they've just really invested heavily in the draft. I reckon maybe only a couple of years max, to be honest. In fact, I wouldn't say finals next year. I'd say maybe the year after next. 2023, I reckon they'll play finals. Mind you, I had them in the grand final this year. And I still, I didn't see them falling out the way that... I know everyone else clearly did, but they made their own choice to start playing the kids when I think their 22 was capable of playing finals at the very least. And I do have this... Oh, Buddy off the ground. Kicks the goal. He's got 2. The Swans hit the front. I have this bad habit of backing in teams that everyone writes off. Yeah. He says he loves Tom McCartan. Yeah, true. Made the 22 under 22 on the bench, if I'm not mistaken. Do Richmond rebuild from here, or was this just an off year? I'd say just an off year, definitely. I think they'll be a contender next year, to be honest. Lions or D's tonight? Good question. I could see either outcome. I really rate the Lions, but I think the D's are too good. They've beaten them earlier this year. It's just the only thing that will catch the D's off is if they just sort of got too emotional about last week's win. Sometimes, the adrenaline rush of that, you take your eye off the ball. But I don't think they will. I think the D's will win a really good game. Do you vape? I do, Charlene. And to be honest, I've been fighting back an urge to vape this entire stream so far. It's sitting right there looking at me. That was a very strange question, but you nailed it. Tommy McCartan, born on the last day of 1999 and therefore the last day of the millennium, decade and year. He's the chosen one. Interesting stat there, Heath. Very specific. Another fun fact, my favourite cricketer growing up and my favourite Eagles footballer, Steve Waugh and Luke Shuey, are both born on the same day, June 2nd. 1965 for Steve Waugh and 1990 for Luke Shuey. And it's stats like that that people think I'm a virgin. Bomber Hills plays has donated $2. Thank you, mate. Appreciate that. Legend. Appreciate your contributions to the stream so far. Thank you very much for doing that. Parker gets another disposal. Happy days. Huntsman says it's called Jath, not Jath. Yeah, fair enough. I've been saying Giath. Yeah, fair enough. I don't know why. I'm usually good with pronunciations, but for some reason, I've been butchering him. I knew that I was saying it wrong. I just couldn't remember how I was saying it wrong, if that makes sense. Sydney. Oh, Papley. Maybe infringed. Haywood gets the handball out. Bell gets wrapped up, and we're going to have a ball up right near the goal square. Who's going to judge me if I vape? Asking for a friend. This is my first vape, and it's mango flavoured. Oh, Heaney gets run down. That's a great tackle from Canelio. Yeah, it's holding the ball. Yeah. Fun fact, Steve Waugh and Mark Waugh were also born on the same day. It's cool. It's hilarious that twins can actually have a different birthday if they're born, either side of midnight. That's strange. I know it's a really dumb thing to say out loud, but it's just occurred to me. My favourite cricket players are Mitch Johnson and Michael Clark. I loved Michael Clark growing up, like when I was a kid, and he had that really lame blonde hair. I frothed it. He seemed like one of the more hated Australian cricketers. Australian culture's weird with our cricketers. We tend to hate them as much as we love them. Oh, Toby Green with another disposal. Yes, son. Run back for 1-2. De Boer. Oh, he's done pretty well there. That's a pretty good kick from De Boer off balance. My cousin was born at 12:01 on the first day of the millennium. Wow, that's impressive. Still on the lung busters? Yeah. Oh, I've quit smoking. So this vape is a smoke quitting device. Wow, 25 inside 50s to 12. The Wakelins are born on different days. Wow, this is just an impressive stat bonanza. There you go. Thanks for the info. I missed who's lining up for GWS. Number 28. I'm not really good at numbers. Sproul. That is a good kick. He's nailed it. The score's back to level. Brad Ebert was my favourite player. Yeah, I remember him. He was not very well adored by Eagles fans at his time there, but I did like him as well. Tyler says, do one hit for the boys. Yeah, right. This one's nearly dead anyway. Thanks, guys. Appreciate that. I needed that. Any predictions for the Ashes this year? You know what? I'm so out of touch with cricket that I didn't know there was an Ashes series this year. Is it in Australia? I don't recall the last Ashes. Was it 2019? It was 2019. That's right. I did follow that one. It was straight after the World Cup. And we drew it when we should have won it because of Ben Stokes. Okay. That was probably the last time I followed cricket, was the 2019 World Cup. Astra calling me out. Yeah, you're probably right, mate, but I am trying to get better. I am trying to quit. I don't endorse anyone taking up smoking, so I'm trying to get out of it. What happens if a final is tied? You go to extra time. Extra time. My boy Jake Steen. Anyone who you believe will have a massive jump next year? Bailey Dale Star. Oh, good question. Well, I guess the thing is with Bailey Dale is that no one saw it coming. Maybe Dogs fans saw it coming a little bit. I have to have a think about that. That might be worth a video. I might have to do some research, but I'm keen to hear your suggestions. Are England better than Australia at cricket right now? Someone can tell me that. I genuinely don't know. I think that they're playing India right now, England, and I have no idea how that series is going. Has it finished? I would love to be able to do some more cricket content. Some of my biggest videos on this channel, believe it or not, are cricket videos and that was around the last time I followed cricket. Excuse me, I was thinking of doing some like BBL live stream. Toby Green, he's going to line up, he's going to snap on the run. It's a great goal. This is a high quality final. Heath, how do you feel about the Giants? And do Sydney fans care about the Giants? I generally don't know. Hey Jesse, World Cup content next year. Yeah, is it the 2020 World Cup, Huntsman? I reckon I couldn't justify making analytical content on cricket because, as I've said, I've just followed it so loosely. But maybe do it from the perspective of just like more of a fun style look at it. When is it? Yeah, I'll do cricket content. When's the World Cup? Like live streams or something like that would be good. Maybe BBL live streams. The World Cup was actually 2018. No. The Cricket World Cup, 19. The FIFA World Cup was 2018. I haven't watched cricket since we got caught playing our balls. If only we had MANSCAPED. True. I did see Bancroft at my local Bunnings where I work. Not long after that. And I was so tempted to say aisle 16 is where sandpaper is, mate. But I'm glad. I never would have actually done that, but the joke came to me. Kelly sends the ball deep for the Giants again, and there seems to be a free kick paid against Toby Green, probably. Yeah. Sorry, Heath has answered my question there. Went for them in the 2019 finals series. I don't mind them. I do not care about them at all. Yeah, okay. I suppose you have... Oh, I guess you don't live in Sydney. That's right. I forgot that for a second. So you probably don't have any Giants supporting friends. But fair enough. I can't remember if I've asked you this. Why do you go for Sydney? Are you from there originally? Is your family from there? Yeah, let me know. England are better in T20s. Right, gotcha. Probably. We're not particularly good at T20s, Australia. I mean, I did say we got slaughtered by Bangladesh. Was that series 4-1 or was it 5-0? I think we won one, I want to say. Jesse, the only way Brizzy can win is if it's high scoring. Why do you say that? Curious. Do you think anyone will coach Carlton despite their president saying Carlton aims to play finals next year? He's getting criticism for that, but I think it's a given. I think Carlton need to set those expectations. I think he's well justified in saying that when so many Carlton fans believe that finals should have come this year. So their fans want to hear that their expectation is to play finals. So if I was a Carlton fan, I would support those comments, to be honest. Toby Green with another disposal. Beautiful. But a lot of England players don't want to travel to Oz without their fans, so there was talk many of the cricketers were going to boycott. What? That's soft as hell. Why do they not want to play without fans? Come on, guys. It's a new world we live in. Okay, this pandemic's not going away anytime soon. I think that's really soft. Thank you, AFL Ultra. Appreciate that. Who do you go for in the BBL? Just generic Perth fan, because I'm from Perth. Really like the Marsh Brothers, as many Perth people did. I know Sean doesn't play for them anymore, but it was a no-brainer. Hussey started with them as well. Oh, the Giants have another goal. That is a crumbing goal from Himmelberg. And this prediction might be coming true. The Giants got out a bit of lead here. Dad's family's born and bred in South Melbourne. There you go. I had a feeling that might be the case. Mum barracks for North. Poor woman. Actually, she probably loved the 90s. Jesse, is Ross Lyon the best candidate for Carlton or not? Look, his coaching record stands up. he's coached some teams that in St Kilda and Fremantle that are not hugely successful, and then taken them through relative periods of success, and his win-loss record generally with those two sides is pretty strong. So I think he can improve them quite a lot, and that's probably what they need. Now, my position on T getting sacked was that, okay, give him another year unless the right candidate like a Clarkson bobs up and you've got an opportunity. I don't know if Ross Lyon was so clearly the right choice after getting sacked by Fremantle that it justified ending Teague's tenure a year early. Sorry, the Giants are going deep here. Himmelberg has it spoiled. That is an amazing goal from midair. Is that Lloyd? The Giants are 3 goals up. So look, if Carlton probably could have persisted with Teague, yeah, but Lyon hasn't really failed. So he's taken Fremantle from a rebuild that was going slow and steady and was probably prematurely sacked, to be completely honest. Up the stars, says Huntsman. Yeah, I feel like most people just go for the team that they're from, you know. This is super underwhelming for the Swans. They look very strong this season. Yeah, 15-win season. They're still having a lot of inside 50s, you're right, but you're right, they're obviously getting outplayed at the moment. Ross Lyon is a downgrade, said Hamish. Big call. Hannah says whoever wins this will kill Geelong next week. Big call. I wouldn't write off Geelong. They notoriously lose the first week of the finals. And then last year crushed the prelim and the semi. And that is a mark uncontested in the back line. Teague was stiff though. He'd had a better 50-game coaching record than Clarko or Dimmer. Yeah, but you know what the difference... maybe I was just going to point out that Clarkson took over Hawthorn at their lowest point in the last, 50 years, probably, to be honest. They had just drafted Buddy and Roughhead and Lewis, if I'm not mistaken. And the expectations were low, and they were going through a hardcore rebuild. And same with Richmond. Richmond were the worst team in the comp at the start of 2010, and by the end of that 2010, they were definitely not. And then obviously Richmond didn't really look back after that. So, yes, Teague might have won more games with that list. However, I would have thought they probably should have... That's probably expected for where they were in their rebuild. If that makes sense. They'd already taken 2 number 1 draft picks in that time. It wasn't like he got them in the middle of a rebuild. I guess they were in the middle of a rebuild, but I just think they were a bit further along than maybe Hawthorn and Carlton were. Hawthorn and Richmond were. So, and that being said, that win-loss ratio doesn't really mean that his trajectory would have gone in the same direction. So, I get what you're saying. And I agree he was stiff. I would have said 1 more year. Am I going to try and get a ticket to the finals in Perth? I will try. I am not hopeful that I can get a grand final ticket. I imagine those will be the hottest tickets. To say they're the hottest tickets in Perth will be an understatement. And that is a defensive mark taken by the Swans. Mitch Lewis's mum works at my school. That's cool. If Geelong didn't win the flag in 2011, do you think Chris Scott would still be the coach? That's a good question. I do. It depends how far off. Do you mean if they lose the grand final that year? Because I think his record is still very, very good. So it would be unprecedented, I think, if a coach had been sacked by making the finals consistently every year simply because they couldn't win the big dance. Do you know what I mean? Like most coaches are sacked because they, fall out of finals altogether. But say, Geelong had finished in a prelim and then, finished 8th in 2018. Did they miss the finals in 2015? They think they did. And then a grand final last year. I still think he would have a job, to be honest, yeah. I get your point, though. He does have, a certain, validation because he's a premiership coach. In the 70s, I'm surprised Hawks and Richmond didn't verse in a granny. Interesting. I have no knowledge of the 70s, so I have nothing to add there. But I'm guessing they were two very good teams. G'day, Jono. Good, mate. How are you? Enjoying this game of footy so far. The Giants are lining up. Is Hogan? He's going to have a tough shot. God, could the Giants shock us all and win 2 finals again? Well, they won 3 in 2019, didn't they? So to go back to that question in Perth, I think if there's like a Geelong-Sydney final next week, I'll definitely try and go, but it will be tough to get tickets. Hogan has kicked that. He's nailed that. This game is slightly getting out of reach for Sydney. They're still definitely in this game, but this has been a devastating burst from the Giants. The only times the Dogs have won a final under Bevo is 2016. Yeah, very, very true. Very good observation. They lost in 2015 to Adelaide, I want to say, if I'm right. 2017 they missed. 2018 I think they missed. 2019 they lost to the Giants. And then 2020 they lost to the Saints. Jono says, I'm keen to see what the Saints do this off-season. What would you like to see them do, Jono? We just did a video on this coming out sometime next week on the Saints and what they should do this off-season. I think I said probably just hit the draft, to be honest. Traded in heavy over the last couple of years. Spent big on some contracts. Just balance out the list with some more youth is what I would say. I think Giants will take the first upset of the season. Well, the finals, I presume you mean, but gee, they're looking pretty good at the moment. Can GWS go all the way? No. But we said the same thing in 2019, but I think they are generally they were a lot better in 2019. They didn't make the finals very convincingly this year. Parker sends the ball in deep. They still haven't won this game, too. Oh, Papley, he's got to kick this. He's got to kick it. It looks good, but it's across the face, no score. Oh, that would have been an important goal. That's frustrating. Out of all the teams in the finals, only one team has won the flag in the last 10 years, and that's the Bulldogs. Good pickup, Huntsman. It is going to be a cool year where, yeah, almost certainly the team that lifts the cup will be a team we're not that familiar with lifting cups. I guess there is Geelong. But in this particular generation, they haven't won one. Sydney 10 years, Geelong 11 years. Good point. But I think it will be, yeah, God, it could be like Melbourne, Brisbane and Port are probably my 3 at the moment that can win it. To be honest, I think Geelong can still win it too. Papley, he scrambled the kick across. It still finds its way to Buddy. He does fairly well considering the bounce. And he gets wrapped up on the centre wing. Fuck it, let's do it. So the Swans really want a response here before half-time. Otherwise, this game will get away. You almost feel like certainly 2 goals here to the Giants. As I say that, Rowbottom pushes it wide for a behind. Cuts the margin to 23. Sarah Jane says the Giants will choke soon. I'm expecting a Sydney comeback. Can the Bombers go all the way? Arthur Ryder. You can't rule anything out, but I would think you're a brave man to bet on. So I don't think so, to be honest. But they could win tomorrow. Florent wins the ball back. He sends it to, is that Papley? It's hard to see on my screen. But either way, Sydney are launching the ball with 6 minutes on the clock. They need a goal soon. Ball goes to the top of the square, and Buddy has it touched on the way through to him. He's unable to keep it inside. Blow some rings. I actually can't. Never tried. If Geelong go out in straight sets, it would be a failure of the season. I agree, Hamish. Absolutely no other way to cut it. When you top up with that list like they did, yeah, that would be a huge blow. GWS are a tough team. Yeah, I agree with you. the bore as well. They're built for finals, and their record in finals is pretty good. So that's the other thing. They've never lost to the Swans in a final, and this is the third time they're playing them in a final. Buddy, he's well defended by Taylor. Taylor's having a really good game from what I can tell. I don't think Buddy's been given many opportunities. He has kicked a couple of goals, to be fair, but they are ones where it's very hard to defend Buddy in that situation. But in moments where Taylor's had an opportunity to spoil him, he's done a very good job. Not really enjoying the finals as much because there are no close games. I don't know. I mean, last night, there's only been 2. Last night wasn't close. I reckon this still will end up close, to be honest. Do you think the Eagles can rebound next year? I think they can, and I think they will, to be honest. I think they snap back into the 8. I think with a longer off-season, players getting into shape, I think will be an important thing, and I believe we will make the necessary changes to our game plan and confidence. What the hell kick was that? Over the head, out of bounds on the full. Not the desired effect, I'd take. If GWS win today, they'll overtake Freo in finals wins. Good point. Interesting. I was going to say, they've beaten the Swans in finals each time and did it the hard way to make the grand final in 2019 by winning 3 tough finals. So they have a brand that stands up in finals footy. I don't see West Coast dropping to the bottom 4, but I can see it's either stay in that 9 to 12 area or rebound into the 8. I think if we stay in the 9 to 12 area next year, then I think we give up and we start retiring players mid-season, and that's when I think we will drop to the bottom 6. But I also just think we will surprise people. We also do well with the underdog tag as well. Sydney send this ball to about 20 metres out. Buddy just can't quite bring it down. Parker gets another disposal. That's all I care about. It goes through for a behind. Mitch is asking about rule changes. Good question. I don't have an opinion on this because I don't like rule changes that much. I'm not a huge fan of capped interchanges, to be honest. But maybe it's a bit early to assess the effect it's having on the game. I think the idea is to limit pressure intensity so the game's more free-flowing. But don't know. But I don't really have any strong views. What about you guys? Any rule changes you'd like to see? I'm a traditionalist, so I don't like change. I hope next year a revitalised North Melbourne comes to play and North playing finals will make you very happy. Could happen. I still think they're a bit young. I think they could still make a lot of progress next year and still not make finals, if that makes sense. But I guess that's, if you win the wooden spoon, it's kind of goes without saying. You can improve a lot and not make finals. Is it weird seeing the Eagles not in the finals for once? Not really. I've kind of braced myself for this for a while. Thank you for the new subscribers, guys. If you haven't already, I'd appreciate the subscription. Buddy takes a mark on the edge of the 50. He's dangerous from this range. I don't know. No, it's not strange. I guess you're right. We do normally feature, but like I said, mentally prepared for it for a while ago. Tyler says, if West Coast don't make finals next year, do you think Simpson will get the sack? No, he's just signed a 3-year extension, so I don't think we can afford to pay him out for 2 years. Excuse me. And then replace him as well with the soft salary cap on football department spending. So I'm just going to watch this Buddy kick. He's dangerous from this range. It looks like a good kick off the boot. He's nailed it. So as much as Sam Taylor's having a good game here, Buddy Franklin has kicked 3 goals. He is 5 short. And this game is back to 16 points. He says would be a good rule if they start paying on the ball. You should stream the Bulldogs Essendon game tomorrow. I'll have to see how I'm going. It could be on. I don't have anything better to do. So maybe. This is the first year of me being a real footy fan. So not an 8-year-old and the Eagles being out of the 8. Yeah, bad year to start taking it seriously. Geelong and Melbourne will be heading to WA to play their next finals regardless of the outcomes. Interesting. So that makes me think all the finals are going to be in WA. Is that not right? Until the grand final? That means because Melbourne and Geelong, Geelong's playing a semi next week confirmed, but Melbourne could be playing in a prelim. So if that's confirmed for Perth, that's pretty interesting. Sydney starting to find a little bit more of the ball here. Oh, well done. Is that Golden? He's centered the ball here. They're going to go, oh, that's not the most penetrating kick inside 50, but he's laid it up for Buddy, and that is a good defensive mark, Sam Taylor, holding his own today. Jono wants the rule to be if it hits the goalpost and goes in, it's still a goal. I can't agree with you on that. I feel like you got to kick a proper goal for it to count. They did that in the Wizard Cup back in like 2003, I think. So the pre-season. The NAB Cup, before it was called the NAB Cup. But it wasn't so it wouldn't count as a goal. If you hit the post and went through for goal, it would still be a point. But if it hit the post and went back into play, it was play on. That would be kind of cool, to be honest. But I don't know. I don't see the need for it. This is the first year for me being a big AFL fan too, says Anarchy. If Buddy gets one more this half, he's a chance for the 1,000 this game. Oh, that is holding the ball. The Giants have a chance to strike here before quarter time. You know what I would like to see? This is not a rule change, but more an interpretation change. When the man on the mark is blatantly standing on the ball or standing over the ball so his team can run back, I think that should be paid 50. There was one last night that was terrible that they didn't pay. And that one against Melbourne, they didn't pay for the Eagles, I thought was bullshit. But it happens all the time, and it's not paid, and it should be. Umpires need to be more discerning. Oh, McLean's kick is smothered, and the Giants win the ball back. 45 seconds to go on the wing. Oh, and he slipped over. So, they're going forward again, the Giants. A late strike here would be very damaging. He might have Hogan out here. He's done very well. That is an amazing kick, and Hogan's taken a good grab. He's likely going to have this shot. No, he's passed it, but it's a good pass. Himmelberg in goal-scoring range. That is a huge blow to Sydney. Just when they got a bit of momentum back, the Giants are going to probably peg one back on the siren here. Seven seconds to go in the half, and this score will likely be 23 points. Hamish says it's the first time he's seen the Eagles outside of the 8 since he... This is the first time the Eagles have been out of the 8 and I've properly watched footy. I've been a real footy fan longer than this year. I see, Hamish, yeah. There you go. Himmelberg got the goal, so it's 23 points at halftime. Big blow to Sydney, and the Giants can be very satisfied with that so far. Still think there's life in this game. Time wasting is a problem, especially when it's deliberately wasting time. I agree, Kev. It's annoying. Thanks, Joe. Thanks for tuning in. See you after halftime, mate. Mitch says, Hind to miss the Bombers after visiting Tier 2 exposure site and not being allowed into Tassie. Yeah, I saw that. That's a blow. That's really frustrating. One of your better players too. He's a player that could be quite important to a win tomorrow. So yeah, that's really frustrating. But I presume he's going to have enough time to isolate and get to Perth, wherever they play. I'm guessing both semis will be in Perth then. That would be very interesting. Oh shit, you know what? I've got to work next weekend. That would be right. I bet it's the only 2 games in Perth and I'm probably working for both of them. Far out, that sucks. If GWS was kicking another 4 goals without Sydney scoring, it's good night. Well, I think definitely that would make it 48 points. Yeah. I think even 2 goals, to be honest, would make it very tough. Carlton want Buckley to battle line for their coaching job. Really? Is that right? That seems odd, to be honest. I guess they back him as a coach. I guess I don't have a strong opinion. He's obviously a decent coach. He wasn't sacked. He stood down. But I don't know how I feel about that. I think it'd be weird seeing Buckley coach Carlton. He's been a Collingwood man his whole life, almost his whole life, most of his career anyway. Cooper says, "Do you think Brucey have a chance?" 100%, yeah. I have them in the grand final at the moment. One thing they need to get rid of is kicking backwards. That would change the game dramatically. So if you kick backwards and it was called play on, I think AFL X was like that. That would hugely change the strategy of a lot of teams. Certainly West Coast, who love kicking it backwards more than they like kicking it forwards. Geelong a little bit as well. Oh, great, Jack Rewald is on my screen. I really hope you're not talking about me. Nah, I can hear him talking in the background there. Yes, reports are Carlton are interested in Buckley. Don't know about it. I think I just feel weird about, a traditional rivals coach being coaching my club if it was me, like a Ross Lyon to West Coast. That would disgust me. Or Mark Harvey, Chris Connolly. Equally, if Woosha had coached Fremantle, I'd be disgusted. Mitch said the Blues president said he's a person of interest and keen for him to be in the selection process. Interesting. Jono says, hope you saw my Saints opinions. Was that on your own channel, mate? I haven't yet. I'll check them out after. Dusty will be back to his best when he comes back. Also, Hamish says, will we see Dusty back at his Dusty level? I think it'll be one of those things where he won't maybe be able to sustain it for an entire season anymore, which he hasn't really been doing for the last couple of years. He's just a big finals player. I still expect that to continue. I mean, look at Buddy Franklin today. I think Dusty will have a similar trajectory. No way Dill Buckley comes back from retirement. Mate, Dill Buckley can do whatever he wants. If a former Crows coach came to Port, I'd be very unhappy. I agree with you, Mozzie. It would be weird. Jack says, what do you think about the game so far? Yeah, it's been interesting. So let's have a look at some stats. So the Swans, I feel like, have been winning the inside 50s, or at least that was the case, but the Giants really got on top of them in that quarter. Lead the clearances by 2, the Giants. But inside 50s, 38-24. So the Giants have 43 more possessions as well. So the Swans just struggling to get their hands on the footy in that quarter, and their inside 50s haven't been as devastating as the Giants, that's for sure. Giants have scored 9 goals, 3 from 24 inside 50s. That's incredible, actually. If they double that and kick 18 goals off 48 inside 50s, that's incredible efficiency. Will you be paying $99 and going to the function to hear Ben Cousins and other players tell their stories? I vaguely heard about that. Where and when is that, Mitch? Probably not, to be honest. It'd be kind of cool, though. Maybe one day I'll just get Cuz on the podcast, and then I'll hear it from myself. Kicking backwards isn't as bad since it switches the play. I agree. So that's true, actually. So if you take away switching play or disincentivizing it, does that make players more likely to just keep the ball locked up? Will that make play more congested? That's probably the exact opposite of what the AFL wants to achieve, to be honest. Amelia Earhart. Welcome, Amelia. Long time no see. Go Swans. Aiden Whitlock. Have you seen the trade rumour of West Coast? JK got a free. I sincerely hope you just made that up, Aiden. Nah, no chance that happens. That's the first time hearing of it, but no. Ew, Hamish. Cooper says, do you think West Coast will improve next year? I do, but I'm a very biased man. No, I actually don't think I'm too biased, but I do genuinely believe the Eagles will be better than this year. I don't know how much, though. Do you reckon Toby Green is top 5 in the AFL? No, probably not top 5. Who is top 5? So you go Petrarca, Bont, Clayton Oliver, the clear top 3. Maybe he's not too far off. Yeah, it gets harder after that top 3 for me. I mean, you still have Dusty Martin around that range, surely. That's 4. It's tough to measure him because as a half-forward impact player, he's not going to get the stats that really lend itself to saying, you know, this guy's consistently one of the best players in the league. But in terms of impact and ability, yeah, he's up there. Amelia says she survived. Congrats, buddy. Where are we up? Scrolling up. Jaden Stephen breaks hip on mountain bike. Really? Did that actually happen? Far out. Isn't a broken hip really bad? Like in terms of recovery time? I guess it depends on the extent, but oh my God. Would have thought that could be like a year. The backline for Hawthorn is set for the next 10 years with DGB, Day, Scrimshaw, Jaff, Hardwick, Impey, Sicily, Frost and Hardigan. I think you've lumped Frost and Hardigan in there generously. I don't think... How old is Frost actually? But Hardigan's pretty old as well. But I agree with most of those names. That is a very strong backline. Next Friday is the function. I will be at work, unfortunately, Mitch. So I won't see that. Hopefully Witherden comes back, Cooper. Yeah, decent player. I think he needs to work on his defensive game a little bit. He looks very good with the ball in hand, but I think he's flawed as a defender. I wonder if he could potentially play another role like on the wing, but he's also quite slow. I do like him though. Apparently he was drunk. You're kidding me. Oh my God. You heard that Adelaide has poached Neil Balmer. I did see that. That's interesting. That will be... I mean, yeah, he's been obviously at Richmond through a very successful period, so we remain to be seen like what impact he can have at the Crows, but they're a very well-resourced club and they're probably going to have some success in the future. So I think that's a really, really big pickup. Frost is 28, so is Hardigan. Okay, so I actually thought Hardigan was like 32, to be honest. I don't know why. Feels like he's been around forever. Mason says he probably won't pay the first 5 rounds on Stevenson. Interesting. It's not great though, considering it's September. In fact, it's August, so to be out for the first 5 rounds of next year, I know it's not confirmed. That's just your hypothesis, but still. I agree, Hamish. That's well summed up. But some players can sort of like work on that muscle and get better defensively. I think someone like Will Schofield changed the way he played completely. He used to just, when he was drafted, he was like almost like a wingman, just like a fast running, unaccountable wingman, and then he turned into a very good key defender. And while Witherden probably won't do that, he could at least become like a bit of a Shannon Hearn type. Do you see Geelong cats out in straight sets? You know what? I'll back them in. I reckon they'll come out and play well next week in Perth. They'll probably beat the Giants at this rate. I don't know. The Cats always start poorly in the finals. I think we'd be silly to write them off. Will you stream the D's Lions game tonight? Maybe. Should I hit up Drew's? I don't know if he'd be bothered. I'll see what he's doing. So, just texting young Drewzite. But it remains to be seen. I'm very tired and it's only half time. I've been talking non-stop for... how long have we been going now? I can't actually tell. Far out. An hour and a half nearly. No, more than an hour and a half. My God, I'm a machine, bro. I'm very excited for the grand final live stream where there's going to be a few of us here. Man, how does Caden do this every week? I'm knackered. I'm almost ready for coffee, but I don't have any milk. Did someone say vape? No, I'm actually going to go to the bathroom. I have not been to the bathroom in the whole hour that I've been sitting here, and I've had a whole bottle of water, so good stuff. I'll be right back, guys. I'm back with drinks. Non-alcoholic, protein only, boys. And some water. Stay hydrated this weekend, boys. And girls. Oh boy. Bunnings trade t-shirt, I like it. Does he work at Bunnings? I do, actually. But this is actually not for staff or team. This is for our trade customers, but I snagged one. Did a bit of undercover work one day. Now, sometimes we just need to do things like move shelves around if you're wearing a uniform. It's very hard to get everything done because people ask you questions. So snagged one of these bad boys and yeah, love it. What are we up to? Amelia says age is just a number. I feel like I'm 20 still. You know what? Some days I feel like I'm 20 still. It is hard to fathom that I'm nearly 28 years old. I do not feel like it. I still feel quite childish. Zoidberg says he's going to the Crows Awards tonight, but wanted to watch the game. Tonight's game is the one I'm most excited for, to be honest. So, I'm tempted to stream it. It is the finals. I kind of don't like streaming so much because I'm in my living room with my roommate. He's not here at the moment, but I feel like I hog the lounge too much. So that's why I don't always stream. Oh boy. You know what's shithouse? Just as an aside that's got nothing to do with football. Tons of girls have fake accounts made of them. Of like OnlyFans accounts. Just by creepy dudes. And it's not on. I'm just reporting one because my friend just had one made and I just spotted it. Not because I was on OnlyFans, but because they start following guys that follow that girl. What do I do at Bunnings? My current role is pretty much, that when you walk in, you see the registers and the hire shop, which is where you hire like compactors and carpet cleaners, click and collect. I supervise that area, so I do all the rostering and kind of like a little mini manager. So I finished my degree a couple of years ago and decided to stay at Bunnings because I really like it and the flexibility allows me to make YouTube videos all the time, and that is my number one passion at the moment. It's True Footy. So I'm part-time there in that role, and 4 days a week there, and every other waking minute at the moment I'm here on YouTube. So it's been great to have you guys here. No way Druzy will be up for anything. He's probably still sulking about Adam Chera. That is harsh, Ian. But you're probably right. Who's my favourite West Coast player? Luke Shuey. And it's not even close. Probably Oscar Allen after that, actually. Can Geelong still win the flag? Yes, I do think they can still win it. They're not my prediction, but I think they can. A couple of people, including Cam Ettery and someone just up the top there, William Laird, asking my thoughts on the Bulldogs right now and whether they can win tomorrow. Yeah, I'm still taking them to win tomorrow. And I still think they can make the grand final, to be honest. I think there's the variable of no true home finals this year means that it's not so bad that the Dogs have to play away finals. So if they win today, they play the loser of Brisbane and Melbourne. Okay, so it could cost them a trip to the Gabba, which I think they would probably lose. But if they play Melbourne in Perth, they've beaten Melbourne once this year at the G. They're a sneaky chance to win that. And then the bye that they would lose by not finishing top 4, they're going to get if they make a grand final anyway. So, look, they're an outside chance. I've got them as 5th likely, most likely, just because of the lack of double chance, but it's tight. Mitch says 3 people you would love to get on the potty. So Chris has just said I'm a checkout chick. No, I roster the checkout chicks. And I coach them on their role. 3 people on the pod. Luke Shuey's the number 1. When I first started the pod, I kind of wanted it to end up a bit like Dylan Friends, and that's the way I intended to go eventually. But it's just not quite there yet. But Luke Shuey, Andrew Brayshaw would be a cool one. I'm just trying to think of non-Eagles ones. Adam Simpson would be another obvious one. But I'm starting Perth base. Yeah, Brayshaw. It'd be cool to get Fife on. I think Fife would be a really good speaker. What about maybe some less obvious ones? Like Dan Venables would be cool with his concussion story. I really like Dan Venables as a player. Really sad to see him have to retire in the way that he did. What about you guys? Who are some guys you'd love to see in a Dylan Friends style podcast in the AFL? Doesn't have to be Perth based. True Football, do you wear the $10 Kmart steel caps to work? I don't. Mine are really cheap and old though. I think I've been in denial that I was going to stay at Bunnings this long, and I have no intention to leave Bunnings, so it's about time I got upgraded. So mine were only about $100, but you probably need to spend a couple hundred to get a nice one, which I'll do any day now. I could see Witherden becoming a Daniel Rich type player. I like that, Hamish. That is the best case scenario. He's not quite as devastating on his boot as Rich is, but he is very, very damaging still. So I get it. Worsfold would be a great call, Mitchie. He has seen so much shit. Even just putting aside the West Coast thing, he's helped rebuild Essendon after, their Asada stuff. The insight there would be incredible. And of course, being at West Coast and the end of his time there would be fascinating. I don't know if Woosh is the sort of man who would like to be in a podcast and open up like that. So I would really need to hone my skills as an interviewer first. I'm nowhere near that. But I do actually have someone in mind. Doesn't play AFL but plays pretty high football. So I don't want to say that in case it doesn't work out. But I've got someone in mind. Hopefully that will be a cool story. Oscar Allen would be a great call on the pod. I actually did contact Oscar Allen last year to come on the pod, and he said that he does the weekly pod for the Eagles and probably won't have time, and that's fair enough. And part of my thing is I haven't really contacted that many people yet because I wanted to establish True Footy as a brand first. It's so hard to get people to agree to come on if they look at your channel or Instagram and don't see anything worthwhile. So I'm okay with that. I probably do need to build the Instagram up a little bit more, to be honest. Heath has to wear steel caps at work. Yeah. Mine are pretty stanky, man. So the Giants have an early shot on goal here. The second half has kicked off. Thanks, guys, for taking part and staying with us through half-time. If you could like the stream, much appreciated. I see we're up to 81. Just 19 short of that mystical number. And we're within 50 of 14,000 as well. So of subscribers, rather. So Sproul, he kicked a really good goal earlier. That one has some legs. That is a good kick. Oh my God, he's nailed it. And the margin is 29 points. This is getting away from Sydney. This is fascinating. It's too early to say, the game's almost over, but far out. That is a huge blow right after half time. He's laying some shit on O'Riordan. I didn't actually notice it, what he did. Daniel Menzel, great shout. I disagree with trading Jack Darling, yes. Luke Hodge, Stephen Hill. Stephen Hill would be a cool one, I agree. Oh, definitely Luke Hodge, yeah. How tall am I? I claim 6'3", but I think I'm about 6'2.5". Josh Jenkins. Why do you say that, Kunal? Why would you like to see Josh Jenkins? Love you too, Zach. Huntsman, have you got a new dog? So, I've been allergic to dogs my whole life, so I've never really loved them that much, but I've started to watch dog videos on Instagram. I really want a dog now, and I'm sad that I'm allergic to them. Never felt like that way before, but it's completely cooked my algorithm. If you just scroll to my recommend, it's just dogs. I promise, guys, I'm cool. Oh, looks like WA won, according to Drewsy's Instagram. Is the game already over? Wow. Oh, Jack Avery's in that shot. So Jack Avery played in the Champs today, and he has been on the podcast. The only player guest I've had on the podcast. He plays for the Perth Demons Waffle side, and still a good chance to get drafted, hopefully. What am I in CM? Huntsman? Oh, that can be misinterpreted. I think I'm about 190 or just under. 189, maybe. Oh, good call, Mozzie. Georgiadis would be cool. Trade Jackson Nelson to North Melbourne. Harsh. Walters would be cool. I agree. Okay, Papley gets the mark here. On a tough angle here. What's the stats watch? I'm just having a look at my multi. Oh, hang on. My multi is relying on Sydney winning this game. So it really is kind of cooked almost already. The Parker shout was a good one. What's my cash out value? It must be about 5 cents, if possible. If at all. They would never even let me cash out, surely. Papley lines up. He just about needs... Oh, that's a good kick. They needed that. Important goal. Back to 23 points. Huntsman, I thought 191 was actually 6'3". I could be wrong. Let's go the smear to the... Good call that. Lin Jong, that's a great call, William Laird. Amelia's about to have a nervous breakdown because the Swans are losing. I understand it's a game and there's other things to worry about, but Swans help me when I have depression and anxiety. Oh, there you go. I totally relate to that. Well, not totally relate to that. What I mean is I understand how much of a boost it is when your team wins and how deflating it is when they lose. When football's an incredible thing where, well, especially when you're at a game, but while it's on, you just forget about everything else in your life. It's really cool. Get Gaff on the pod. Would be interesting to hear about the punch. Yeah. See, that's another one, Hamish, I thought about 100%. But it's also like I feel nervous sort of getting players on and bringing up really sensitive stuff like that when I don't have any respect as an interviewer yet. Does that make sense? Like, Dill Buckley could do it. I need to build that first. But I 100% agree with what you're saying there. I definitely need to start getting some guests on. I thought 193 was and a half might have been 6'4", Huntsman. I don't know. Any chance Brenda comes home to Geelong? We need KPDs. He's not really a KPD, to be honest, PJ. You could certainly turn him into one, and I think he would probably be a good one, to be honest. I think he's almost certainly leaving West Coast. I've heard Hawthorn are the biggest candidate, but it's very early days. My thought is that... Well, no, sorry, what I heard was that he was approached mid-season to re-extend with the Eagles, and he basically said bugger off, and he only played 2 games after round 11, partly due to injury, but it also took 7 injuries or something like that for him to get a game in round 23 as a late in, so I think he's Gonski. Modal Soul reckons I could get Sam Switkowski. That would be cool. Ryan Crowley. I have thought about Ryan Crowley. My sister actually works with Ryan Crowley, so I could actually potentially make that work. Again, I just need to stop being a pussy. Now, I do have someone in mind, and that will help sort of start to build the body of work first, and then I can hopefully really build into something cool. I think Instagram would help because, like, building the Instagram because, hang on, Florent has just gathered the ball very nicely. He's turned it over. That's a poor turnover, to be completely honest. There was a bit of pressure, but he had more time than he realised. Because if a lot of the way I'm going to have to reach out to players is through Instagram. So at the moment, I've got about 2,000 followers, which I really appreciate. And I don't make any content on there much. So I get it. But, that's out of the bounds. The fool from De Boer. Yeah, if they go to see my current Instagram, my current branding, I think I need to rebrand to make it a lot more professional. I can see why people go, why the hell would I go on your podcast? Hamish, I'm not going to do that. That would be a swift end to my podcast interviewing career if I did that. Hamish says, watch Brandon become Bont 2.0. I don't know if he has that in his wheelhouse, but I agree. I think he will actually be a decent AFL player. Ben Stratton for the pod. He's actually from Bustleton, which is where Mitchy Buttsworth is from. So, he's a local boy. Well, not like local, it's about a 3-hour drive, but still kind of cool. It's kind of weird to think Bustleton produced a champion player like Ben Stratton. What kind of player was I? Mozzie? I was a very underwhelming, sometimes key forward, sometimes wingman. Probably played some of my better games off a half-back flank, to be completely honest. Bob Murphy for the potty is a great shout, actually. Because he's actually a good speaker, and on top of, his career. In fact, he had his own show called Bob on KO, where he was an interviewer. So he could carry me. Genuinely carry me. Toby Green has got another disposal. He says O'Riordan honestly sucks. I haven't noticed it quite enough. Oh, Hogan's taking a mark here. This will be painful for the Swans to watch. Yeah, Mitch says cheeky shout out. That's right, mate. Well deserved. Abby, gel me for the podcast, please. Interesting shout. That'd be cool. Let me look her up on Insta. Yeah. I really want to do something with the branding of the channel soon. Hogan has Kit A behind. Tell you what, the kicks have been very good considering I don't think it's easy goal kicking conditions. You know what I mean? Like 10 goals for to 6 goals for. I have 3 mutual friends with Abby Gelmi, including someone that I presume is a relative because they have the same surname. Huh. That would be so cool. It would be great to get a female on the pod, actually. There has yet to be a female on the True Footy podcast. Mostly because we're just a couple of nerds. Get Cogs on and tell him how shit he is. I'm not going to do that. Tyler says Ben Cousins. I would love to get Cuz on. But, yeah. Somewhere down the track. So the Giants pressing here. Lockie Ash has the ball. Moves it back to Kelly, who sends the ball about 30 metres out. Hogan! Again! He's actually having a really good game. Fremantle fans loving this. Bob Murphy does the Bulldogs podcast with Easton Wood. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I agree. Bob Murphy does seem like a good bloke, to be honest. Cam's asking, who's your pick for the Brownlow? I've been saying Bont all year, but I reckon Oliver might have just picked him at the post. So I reckon Oliver, to be honest. Kelly Underwood, I like that. It would be cool to get someone like that on. Oh, he's missed. He's hit the post twice. So if Hogan kicks those 2 goals, this game's almost over. In fact, I'd say very close to being over. And yet, the Swans still have a sniff here. Daniel Rich, I like it. Jesse overrated. For a second I thought you meant me. I was like, that's harsh. Just out here having a crack, mate. But he's got a free kick here. The Swans need to jag some momentum. He kicked it into the back of that Swans player. Is that Taylor? Oh, Taylor's been knocked out by his own teammate. Man, that was a big 10 seconds. He's copped it from behind twice. And not in a good way. Lockie Ash could make them pay here. Oh, Hogan just overruns the ball, slips over. Oh, and then a fumble from... Is that... No, it's not Hayward. It's mopped up by Cunningham. Errol Golden in a position to take a screamer. But is that Hopper, I think, does well and the ball's wrapped up. True Footy, who's your favourite North Melbourne player, either retired or still playing? I think Jaden Stevenson at the moment. I do like LDU as well. Trying to think of a past era. You know what? I must admit, I didn't like North Melbourne in high school because I had a mate who loved them and he was like, what's the word? Just an annoying North fan, if that makes sense. Nice bloke, but you know those annoying fans? He was one of them. That is a poor kick and it's marked by Hickey. Oh, Mitchie, that would be cool. That'd be awesome. Pulling in the favours. 4 degrees of separation there, but I appreciate it. That would be awesome. Oh, Buddy takes a mark. He's starting to have a little bit of an impact here. The last kick was a shank, so it's a short kick to, I think that's Golden, can't really tell. Buddy again, racking up a few disposals. Bell has the choice of going to the wing, but he sends it in deep. Oh, and Papley's there. And it's a good tackle there by Sam Reid. I was actually carried by Gary Ablett Sr. when I was a baby. No cat. Wow. So you and Geelong in the 90s have something in common. Nah, it's a joke. I have no opinion on Geelong in the 90s. And GWS clear the ball from their D50. Oh, this is still a really good game, but it's only a couple of goals off being too much for Sydney here. Cunningham. Oh, he just overcooked the kick a little bit there to Heaney. Buddy's impacting. Oh, no way. Oh, well done. Well done, Hayward. And now Heaney's going to kick a goal. He's got it. This game's back on. Favourite Freo player would have to be Andy Brayshaw. Hamish. How can you not like Andy Brayshaw? It just seems like... I was watching the Dylan Friends pod and Dill says it's the sort of guy you want your daughter to bring home. I agree. Seems like a nice fella. In terms of watching, probably Michael Walters. I find it hard to dislike Caleb Sarong as well. Jumper comes back on. Ironically, as the game gets a little bit hot. I can't believe Sydney is still in this, Patrick. Patrick says. Yes. Yeah, I mean, GWS just haven't quite been potent enough to put them away. But, I mean, with their inside 50s that Sydney have also generated, you could say that they should have been not that far down. Yeah, Hamish says Sarong's cool, I agree. Giants win the clearance through Ward back to... Oh, it's Tom Green. Yeah, lucky to get away with that. I thought that was incorrect disposal there. Bean says, oh, not in the 90s. Yeah, fair enough. I was just making a dumb joke. Geelong were actually a pretty good team in the 90s. I think they lost 3 grand finals. Yeah, so 92, 94, 95. Fuck, that would have sucked. What if it was Andrew Gaff's daughter? The ultimate revenge that would be. Imagine that as your family history, though. Would you still hate the Swans to this day if they beat you twice through 05 and 06? Nah, I let things go. My opinions on teams changes with a generation of players. I like Sydney, to be honest. It would have hurt to lose that grand final, but I wouldn't have hated them for it. I didn't hate them in 06 after they beat us the year before. And there are some teams that I've hated that I've come to like and vice versa. So I liked Richmond when they were shit and then started to dislike them when they came good. And conversely, hated Melbourne around that wooden spoon period for them when they sucked, and now I really like them. So, yeah. I don't really hate clubs too much, to be honest. I don't hate Fremantle or I don't even hate Richmond. I do like teams more and less than others, but yeah. Oh, the Swans here on the burst. McInerney. He's got a bit of run and carry, this kid. He sends the ball in deep. There's 2-on-1. Heaney creates a bit of space but falls over. Don't know if he would have won that anyway. Oh, here we go. Florent, he's got to kick this. That's big. He's missed. Oh, they're pressing Sydney. They just need to score and capitalise while they're actually got the momentum. But this game's red hot. Heath met Luke Ablett after the 05 Grand Final at a family day. He did not even talk to me and I didn't even acknowledge him, but turned me around and signed the back of my jumper. That's dope. Mitch says if you ever get on a Bunnings ad, surely give the True Footy accounts a shout out. Imagine. They do all know about my YouTube channel at work, which is funny. They're all very nice and supportive. Oh, the Swans mark again. And they're going to go in for yet another inside 50s. Buddy's there. Oh, again, Taylor has done a stunning job on Buddy. For a guy who's kicked 4 goals, I think Taylor is playing pretty well. He's only 22. I agree, Mitchie. That's more or less how I felt. And, you know, there was nothing but love for Collingwood after we beat them in the grand final, to be honest. Had no ill feeling. I mean, obviously, if we'd lost that, maybe I'd feel different. But Collingwood, I think, for the most part, were pretty respectful after that game too. Amelia says, what's your favourite movie and TV show? That's a good question. You know what I'm watching at the moment that I love, that I don't know if newer generations will really appreciate, is Rocky. The first 4 anyway, and then Creed as well. So good. Their 70s films are a bit slower, very cheesy, very cringe, but still heartwarming, uplifting, inspiring, and it's good family values stuff. So, absolutely love Rocky. And the Dark Knight films and the Nolan Batman films are among my favourites. Shawshank Redemption. The Giants get one back against... Oh, it's bounced the wrong way. Shit, I thought that was a goal. Like Mike says, holding a long-term heated grudge against a certain team always felt juvenile for mine. I agree. And furthermore, I would say it's kind of forced. It feels forced. I don't hate Fremantle, but if we were, really competing with them for, a spot in the 8 or, playing them in finals and losing derbies regularly, I'd probably build up a hatred of them. As it happens, they beat us in the derby this year and I don't really feel any differently, to be honest. I'm just, whatever, good on them. Hey, yo, Adrian, I did it! That's my favourite moment when he wins the second fight against Apollo Creed. He wins it, and all he wants to do is say hello to his wife. I think that's so sweet. It's so cheesy, but also so wholesome. It's very wholesome, Rocky, actually. Yeah, and Creed's really good too. This is a hot game. I'm enjoying it. Heaney takes the mark. This will cut the margin to 13, although it's going to be a very, very tough kick. William Laird says Rocky is goated. I agree. I'm glad that people still like Rocky. I'm really glad, because I don't... My concern was it might have not aged super well. I love Star Wars too. No lie. Love Star Wars. Even the prequels. But that's because I'm from that generation. Heaney's lining up. This would be a big moment. That's a very good kick. That is a very good kick. Heaney's kicked it. He's kept his side in it. This is a huge final. Loving it. Love that. 93 likes too, guys. So appreciate it if you could hit like. We've been going nearly 2 hours now. So, no, over 2 hours, I think. Yeah. I do some naughty things to that man, Heath says. Yeah, he is actually pretty handsome. They've played in 2 finals so far. I remember 18 was a smashing. I think was 2016 about 4 goals to the Giants. So this could be the best of the finals between them so far. Who do I want to win? You know what? I am actually going for Sydney, probably because of Heath, to be honest. Want him to be happy and see him tune in to the next stream next week. I don't really care otherwise, to be honest. That's the only deciding factor. I also just want a really good game, so I'm barracking for Sydney to get into the contest. Oh, up to 100 likes. Thanks, guys. Legends. That jumped up about 10, so thank you so much. Just having a look at the disposal chat. Okay, so Parker's nearly had 25, so if Sydney win, that other part of my leg is also... other part of my multi. I think Toby Green's going to let the team down tonight. He's only had 7 touches for his 3 goals. I'm an idiot. I'm not going to vape. Do you reckon... Oh my god. Spoke too early there. Do you reckon if Brisbane beat Melbourne, then Brisbane will be in a great position? 100%. I still have Brisbane making the grand final if they lose tonight. Gee, I'm excited though. It's going to be really good. Big Instagram content if we win tonight, says he. Looking forward to it. Go give Heath a follow. Please bandwagon the Lions. We need the positive vibes right now. I'm torn, like Mike. I'd be happy to see the Lions win for you as well. But I'm also friends with Caden McDonald. I'd be happy for both teams. I'd be happy for pretty much any team in that top 5 mix to win a flag. I think the Dogs have won recently, but they haven't been so dominant that I'd be unhappy to see them win a flag. Geelong's probably the one I want to see least, not because I dislike them, but just because a Port, Brisbane or Melbourne grand final I'd prefer. So, Toby Green, plays for the free kick. So, has he given it away? He's given it away, absolute idiot. What was he thinking? So that's just selfish. That's putting your own emotion and anger above the team. Is that a bit soft? Nah, correct decision. Oh, they've paid advantage there. That's very harsh. He just strolled to the ball. But in more important news, Sydney have another shot on goal. Heaney. He's a big game player. You vaping to quit ciggies or just to do it? I'm doing it to quit. I have no intention of buying another one. He says now. 57-year drought ends this year, hopefully. Is that Melbourne? Oh yeah, sorry, I just read the comment above. Yeah, I'd love to see Melbourne win it. So Heaney, he's kicked one more difficult than this just 2 minutes ago. He's missed. Just. Dogs 2016 most likeable premiers, yeah. 2018 Eagles most likeable premiers. Nah, people hate the Eagles. I don't get it. I'm so biased, but I don't get it. I don't dislike Geelong Beans. I kind of like them, to be honest. It's just more that I always want to see a premier who I haven't seen on the podium before, and I have never seen Melbourne on it, and it's been a long time since Melbourne or Port or Brisbane have won it. So. And I do like the Doggies, so. Oh, Chris says because they stopped the Pies getting a flag. True. I couldn't believe how many people, when I went to Melbourne for the grand final, how many Victorians were still going for Collingwood because they hate the Eagles. I thought more people hated Collingwood there than cared about West Coast, but they really hated West Coast. Amelia says, I don't like the original Star Wars. I like the newer ones, Attack of the Clones, Rogue One, The Rise of Skywalker. Yeah. It also depends on age. If you grew up with the prequels, you will... with the prequels, but also the originals, you will tend to enjoy them more. I walked out of Rise of Skywalker thinking, fuck, that was a sick film. But when I reflected on it, I was like, man, that story was bad. And that's what happens when you have, not one director or script writer for the whole 3 films. It was definitely different. It was definitely people with competing and contradictory stories. So it was just a mess. But Rogue One was an outstanding movie. I'm in my last year of school and there's so many kids in their first year running around with vapes, police pulling up to school and doing bag checks. Wow. Yeah, I was talking to someone who works at a school. I didn't realise that people were so hot on vapes, to be honest. I thought they were kind of harmless. But I suppose when you're under 18 and it's potentially nicotine or something more sinister in what they're smoking, they have to treat it like it's that. The Giants are having a shot on goal here. He's missed. Was that Kelly? Yes, it was Kelly. So the margin's back to 13 points here. Should get Liam Ryan on the show. I'd love to get Liam Ryan on the show. Really love him. Like Mike says, thanks mate, really looking forward to tonight. I'd be happy for the D's as well. Good rags to riches story for the game. I totally agree. And equally for the Lions. I know they did win those 3 flags, but it wasn't so long ago. They were considered a bit of a Gold Coast, not in terms of folding or anything like that, but in terms of how the hell do you turn this club around. And the extent to which the Lions have turned their club around is fascinating. It's been incredible, actually. So we've got a minute 23 on the clock. The ball is up on the wing, and it's likely to get wrapped up, and it is. My former school, there was a stabbing last week. Hasn't changed. Oh my God. I went to Bunbury High School, which I think had a little bit of drama, but apparently nowhere near the worst school in Bunbury, I've heard. I only was there for a couple of years, so don't know. I got slight connections to Liam. My driving instructor is friends with him. That's cool. Far more people at my school vape than smoke cigs. I mean, I guess that's better, right? Well, I thought it was better. I suppose if they're cooked with nicotine, it's not ideal either though. Oh, so Toby Crean gets that disposal that I needed. I think he's got 9, maybe 8. So the Giants have a chance here. He goes backwards. Is that Taranto? So 30 seconds to go. You'd think only the Giants have an opportunity to score here. He's sort of holding up the play. I kind of hope they don't score. Oh, Hogan! He's hit the post twice, but he's playing a good game. There's no doubt about it. Ben Stratton went to the high school I went to and held every sport record possible. Is that right? Yeah, geez. Are there any other AFL players that come from Bustleton, Mitch? One thing that's always surprised me is the lack of AFL talent from Bunbury. Considering it's like, I think it's still the biggest city outside of Perth. I've just watched this Hogan kick. Siren goes mid-run up. He's kicked a goal, I reckon. Yep, that's a goal, and that hurts Sydney hard. That's a big goal. That could be decisive. But I'm in isolation, happy that Hogan was able to put one through. I met Jesse Hogan at a nightclub. He was in a very good mood, and he was telling me he was never going to leave Melbourne. It's funny to think how things have changed. So with my multi, I need the Swans to win, and I need Toby Green to get 6 more possessions, I think. Yeah, 6 more possessions. So both of those things seem a little bit steep right now. What was I saying? Oh, lack of talent from Bunbury. Yeah. Compare it to somewhere like Geraldton in WA, who's produced some genuine stars of the game, and we're much bigger. It's always baffled me a little bit. Yes, Blakely is from Bunbury, Model Soul. I played cricket with his older brother Nathan. I don't think I ever met Connor, but yes, he is from Bunbury. I think we technically claim Lewis Jetta and Neville Jetta, Jamie Bennell, Adam Hunter. Ethan Hughes is kind of from that way, I think. He's certainly from the southwest. I don't know if he's from Bunbury or like Australind or something. Maybe somebody can tell me. Those 3 flags feel a lifetime ago now. There's been dark days since for both clubs, in fact. Yes, very true. There's like nothing to do in Bunbury, surely. Yeah, that's probably why there's a massive meth problem there. I like going to visit family there. It's a really beautiful part of Bunbury to like retire, but yeah, I couldn't live there as an adult. I kind of claim myself as a Bunbury boy, but yeah. Emilia's not going to sleep well tonight, I don't think. Dang it, I wanted Swans to play the Cats next week because my mum goes for the Cats and I go for the Swans. Oh, that would be cool. Wouldn't give up hope yet. That last goal, though, was damaging. There's some talent in Albany, yes. Well, the McGovern brothers. Mitch says the Hill brothers from Bunbury. No, I think they're from... Well, they played for West Perth. I think they're from Perth, eh? I don't think... Unless, like, prior to their junior footy, maybe. But, yeah. I'm trying to think of another Bunbury player in the league. There's really not too many, considering how big Bunbury is in terms of population. Yeah, just don't produce really good footballers. Contrast that, like, you've got the Cripps family, Josh Kennedy, Jager O'Meara, Daniel Chick, Paddy Ryder from Geraldton, and that's just me, just not even thinking too hard about it. Bunbury is good if you want life on the meth. Is that really what busso people think of Bunbury? I mean, it's true, but yeah. Big last quarter. Someone asked who's the BOG so far. Good question. I'm going to need to back this up with stats. Some players that have caught my eye are Luke Parker, Heaney, Hogan, even Buddy. Don't know if I'd say best on ground for Buddy. Mind you, he's had 13 touches and 3 goals. Disposals, Josh Kelly's been very good. Haven't even noticed Perryman, but again, I'm trying to do this in live stream. Taranto's prominent, and Heaney as well. Papley too. So, quite a few good performances so far. Hi, I'm back with the cheese pizza, says Huntsman. Welcome, Huntsman. Welcome, cheese pizza. Rockingham's only had Schoenfeld and Norton. Is Norton from Rocco? Or is he from Mandurah? What's the difference, right? Nah. Yeah, okay, fair enough. Is that where you're from? Modal? Are you from Rockingham? Mitch did 18 months in Bunbury. Prison was full of Bunbury meth heads. Yeah, I'm not surprised. Taylor Probs. Oh, it's best on ground. See, Buddy's kicked 3 on him, but yes, I agree. He's been very, very good. This is mango flavour too. I'm getting hungry now. Reckon Buddy's gearing up for 5 in the last to break 1,000 after the siren to win it for the Swans. Far out, imagine that. And that's a good point, yeah. If the Swans lose this, we have to wait at least 6 months to see that 1,000. Hope Sydney will win, but I'm not sure about that. Yeah, it's looking dicey now. I didn't know that, Moyle. Mind you, I don't know why I would know something quite personal about you in the first place, but yeah, no, good on you. Because you went to the same uni as myself, if I'm not mistaken. Curtin. Probably not at the same time though, but I don't know if you know Druzy, but he's still at Curtin. I thought Albany was bad. Well, they're the home of Marcus Dibble. Does anyone know Marcus Dibble, the YouTuber, and the drama he's been caught up with? He had like 1 million subs or something, right? Maybe 500,000. If Buddy gets 1,000, does the crowd storm the pitch? I don't know if they could in this particular scenario. You'd love to see it though. You'd love to see it. Cats fan going for Sydney non-strategically. Man, I still think the Giants are equally dangerous to the Cats, to be honest, considering the form. Yeah, a couple of boys recognise Dibble. Yeah, I have mutual friends with him. Just a couple of friends from Albany. And I just stumbled across the stuff that's happened recently. That's pretty shocking. I couldn't give a shit about Dibble's content or anything like that. I just knew who he was. Oh, really? Motorsol. I wonder if Drews knows that. I think he knows who you are. But I don't know if he knows about that connection. Maybe he's told me and I forgot. I don't know. But that's funny as. Yeah, I see Liam all the time. Like Liam and Drews live together. Good fella. Oh, an early inside 50 for the Swans here. XYLTK Xylotech says, I'd rather he break the ton in front of a fully vaxxed Sydney crowd next year. That's a good call, actually, to be honest. That would be probably a better spectacle. Oh, the balls. Oh, a couple of Swans players go for the same ball. Josh Kelly wins the ball. He has actually been very good. Out of bounds. As the fourth quarter starts. Dibble is steroid abusing the fat. What is that word? Shies? I don't know if that's a pop culture reference. I don't understand. Is it a Marcus Dibble reference? I don't really know much about him. Was he actually on roids? He wasn't really in the best of shape. G'day, Mighty Angus. I'm good, thanks, mate. I'm enjoying this final. It's really good. How are you? Sorry, I'm just reading the comment below. Andrew Cox was rushed to hospital this afternoon. What are you talking about? I just spoke to him. Is that a sick joke? He has... Yeah, he put something on Instagram at 55 minutes ago, so I think you have him having me on. No. Oh, it's shit in German. Scheisse. Okay, sorry, I thought... I had no expectation you were speaking German there. Scheisse. Scheisshaus. German language is so cool. Is this Bell lining up for goal? Big kick. He shanked that out on the full. Ouch. Oh, he says he was bagging out people for taking roids while he was on roids. What? It's hard to believe there are people out there like that. Supposedly, people are more willing to admit to having an affair than taking steroids, which is strange. I'm not really... I used to be into the gym, never enough to really want to get on the roids, but if I ever did, I reckon I would just be open about it, to be honest. It's just who I am. Just an open book. Huntsman says, you speak a bit of German. Are you German? Or got a German parent or something like that? My brother-in-law's German. Well, born in London, lives there his whole life, but he speaks a bit of German too. Beanie Weenie speaks Dutch and a bit of German. Wow. Oh, what's happened there? I looked away as Hayward hits the post. I was shocked to find out what Marcus had done. Yeah, gee whiz. A massive cooked unit. Bean speaks English. Yeah, me too. I lived in 3 different countries and I still only speak English. That's why I hate bringing up that I used to live in a different country. Huntsman, are you Indigenous? I did not know that about you. Huh. I also can't tell if you're messing with me. But there you go. Cool. Mitchie speaks Aussie. Funny video says I love the gym, will never take roids. Yeah, don't know. Not something I would endorse. Yeah. You have to really know what you're doing to do that stuff. Alright, so we got 16 and a half remaining in the final term. The loser is eliminated. Like Mike says, I briefly relocated to Perth to study from Murdoch and I worked in sales in Rockingham. Scary times. That's cool. I lived on Murdoch campus while I studied at Curtin. Which is funny. But they let you do that and they had nicer accommodation than Curtin did. So I stayed at Murdoch. Nice campus. The Giants send the ball forward here. If they get an early one here, I reckon it's Curtin's. Maybe. Have you thought about getting the Footy Yarn boys on the pod? I love what they're doing for promoting the draft. They do really cool stuff. I have thought about it, but I just keep finding things that take up my time. Does that make sense? Sorry, Hopper's just had a shot on goal. Now, I have got like a little list of people I'd love to get on the pod, and that would be a great shout, but I just procrastinate getting guests on the pod because like there's always a new story in footy for me to make a video on. But in the off-season or closer to the draft, that would be cool. I have no idea where they're based. They're obviously in Perth, but not sure where. But it'd be really cool, actually. Great shout. Huntsman says a bit, yeah, but like 12.5 or 25%, I don't know. Well, there you go. Cool. It's curtains for the Swans now. I don't think yet. Alex Fostolo would be cool, Huntsman. Hope Sydney come back, want a close finish. I agree, Mozzie. That's what I'm hoping for as well. Great performance for the Giants, though. They've proven themselves to be a strong final side. And frankly, a team that underachieved in the home and away season. I mean, they made the grand final 2 years ago. Would I be correct in thinking the Swans are a far less experienced side? I feel like they've got a lot of kids, but sometimes those stats surprise me. But the Giants, have been around the mark for a while now. So in theory, pretty experienced. Hickey sends the ball deep near the goal square. It seems to be black or charcoal jumpers only. Heaney scrums, and that is not the best defending by the Giants. But Heaney is having a great game, and he's bagged 3 goals now to go with his 16 or whatever touches, 17 touches. John Worsfold Doco would be sick. That's a cool idea, Mitch. I actually want to do a Clarkson one soon. Whether I don't know if I'd commit to a 49-minute video, but maybe 20 minutes. I think that would be cool. I wanted to do a Buddy Road to 1,000 Goals video, but if he doesn't get it, that might be one for the off-season or something like that. Chris says, correct, I reckon, GWS finals experience. Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah, but I wish a doco would be interesting. Huntsman wants to know my background. It's pretty basic. Hey, I look more ethnic than I am. Scottish, English. My surname's McClure. Obviously, I'm a little bit dark, but we believe that's from the Welsh part of our family, even though we're not strictly like that Welsh. The Welsh side of my family, although it's consistent with all those family members having really dark hair and dark eyes. But I have one of my sisters is like me, which is dark hair, dark eyes, olive skin. You wouldn't believe it, but I actually tan heaps, but I just never see the sun. But my other sister is quite pale, blonde hair, blue eyes. Hey! Wow! He's a player I shouted out in the AFL predictions video on Caden's channel as potentially making his mark in this final series. And he is best on ground at the moment. This will be 4 if he kicks it. Fuck, I hope he kicks it. Would be cool to get your thoughts on Worsfold as a player and how he impacted the game as a coach too. Yeah, it would need some research. Obviously, I supported the Eagles during that period, but I wasn't as switched on back then and obviously didn't really see him much as a player. I'm going to watch this Heaney kick. He's kicked it. There was no doubt about that. We're back to 7 points, people. What a cracking final. Heath saying, oh my God. Did you see Toby Green making contact with an umpire? Could be in trouble for next week if they win. Wow. I didn't see it, no. What kind of contact? Is that always going to be a week off, or is that more likely to be a big fine? I prefer to see that a fine unless he's actually shoved him or something like that. But if he's unnecessarily sort of grabbed him by the shoulder, then I'd say, cop your few grand fine, but don't take him out for next week. Given there are no more slip-ups again, but if fit and clean, does Rowley slip into the Eagles' best 22? I 100% think so, and I think he would. He was going to play in round 23, according to Simo. And he said he just believes he's best 22, and I think Shuey said that as well. Yeah, 100% he plays round 1. Who do you think wins between the D's and the Lions? I got the D's, but I see that going either way. But I think the D's win it. But I'm not surprised at all if the Lions I wouldn't even consider it an upset if the Lions win it, particularly on a neutral venue. So the Swans get a bit of space here. Melican has not the best kick. It's a bit short of Papley, but he makes it work. Oh my God, Papley, that was hot. The kick is a tough one. It's over the top. Oh, good defending. Credit where it's due. This ball is still live. Good soccer off the ground there. Giants have had their injuries this year. It just occurs to me as well. Oh my God. Oh, how do you get Hickey all on his own in the forward line? Wow. Wow, Hickey with an acre of space. Lining up. Takes the uncontested mark. Patrick says it was on 7 AFL. Let's go and have a look. Feel free to check here. Oh yeah, I see it now. Hang on. So he gets up. This is after the holding the ball. Oh, no, he bumps into him. That's not on. That's stupid from Toby Green. Oh, he's missed. But we're still back to 6 points. Could be an important behind. Stupid from Toby Green. I don't think he should get rubbed out, but cop a fine for that. That's lame. He's a bit of an idiot, Toby Green. I really actually do like him as a player, but you can't tell me he's got much of a brain in his head. He's probably got like a master's degree or something like that. But just in terms of his ability to control his emotions, it's quite poor. Stream the Lions D's game. I will see. See how I pull up from this one. I'd like to. So 6 points the margin, 11 minutes to go. The Giants desperately launch the ball forward, but Sydney with all the momentum here. He's found him in the centre of the ground. Chad Warner takes the uncontested mark and they'll load up again. Getting smashed in the centre of the ground, I hear the commentators say. Oh, just a bit hot for Buddy. It was a good kick inside 50 in terms of accuracy and trajectory, but just, well, maybe not accuracy, but trajectory, velocity. Toby Green with a disposal here. With a check side kick, and it is a turnover. Thanks, Cam. I'll see how I go, but I appreciate that you want me to stream. Thanks for everyone who's tuning in today. It's been a really fun stream. Green Props has 5 PhDs, yeah. It does make me feel like shit when AFL players are like more educated than me. I'm like, now I don't even have that over you. So the Swans inside 50 again. Is that Wicks? He's missed! He's hit the post! Oh, this is intense. The Swans need to capitalise with this momentum because it will shift. It will shift the other way. Beans is asking, is this on TV? Well, it's on KO. I don't know where you are, so I couldn't answer that question, but maybe someone else could. Bioeconomics. The economics of the human body. Oh, here we go. Buddy's shoved him in the back, and he's paid it against him. Rightfully so. Oh, thanks, Cam. Appreciate it. Really appreciate it. Appreciate the support. Heath is scared. This is tense. This is living up. I had a funny feeling this would be a really, really good game today. And it did sort of go how I predicted at quarter time. I said the Giants would nurse a 3-goal lead for most of the game and Sydney would come back and win. They haven't won yet. But it's living up. Channel 7 says Mitch. Heath says scared and a little aroused. Yeah. Sounds like my love life in a nutshell. So we've got a boundary throw in. 9 minutes to go. It's in Sydney's forward line. Oh, Hickey loses Mumford. Snaps to the top of the square. And Bell has taken a mark. And this will put the Swans in front. And this is absolute danger time for the Giants. They've been in front for 82 minutes. Big kick. He kicked one out in the full earlier, Bell. He needs to make up for it. He has kicked Oh my God, he hit the post. Oh. Far out. This game is still on. No, of course it was. It would be either way, but still. How many post hits points out, Mitch? Yeah, bad day to be a goal post. Whitfield. They need a stabilising mark here, the Giants. Oh, what's happened here? Mumford's got a free kick. Yeah, bad miss from young Bell there. He kicked that 95 times out of 100 at training, you'd think. Eight minutes remaining. 4 points to margin. Oh, Mumford gets down the ground and takes the mark after passing it to that player, I think. This is an important little period for the Giants. If they can just get a bit of momentum back, it'll be dangerous for Sydney after not capitalising on their opportunities. Beanie says here's where the momentum shifts. Yeah, I think it's a fairly good observation. But equally, the Giants actually need to score. They need to score to win, that's for sure. Oh, that's holding the ball. Florent with the tackle. Saves the day. Thanks, LAJJ Footy Cards. Appreciate the subscription. Appreciate anyone that subscribes today, helping us to get to 14k by the end of the month. Oh, Taranto with the intercept. And it's well spoiled by Cunningham there. It was a good kick inside of 50, a low dart, but it's been wrapped up. Great game. Mozzie says there's been 5 times the post has been hit. Got another stoppage in the Giants forward line this time. It's tense. Giants are the first to the ball. And it's wrapped up again. Mitch says he's not looking forward to going back to work. I hope I don't miss the end of the game. How long until you got to go, Mitch? Got 7 minutes. It's probably about 10 minutes of real time. Heath is hating this. I feel for you, buddy. This would suck. Nothing worse than being down all game. I genuinely hated every minute of the 2018 grand final until Dom Sheets got away. So I know what you mean. I remember you reflect on it as being like the greatest game you've ever seen, but I, at the end of the game, was like, I never want to do that again. How good is finals footy, says Patrick. Well said, mate. I agree. Hopefully that counts as a disposal to green. So the multi has hope. Looks like some people are already heading to the Demons game in Adelaide. Backyard Charizard. Friend of the channel is going to be in attendance. What did I grab my phone to look at? I was going to... So the Swans get a bit of a rebound here. Spoiled. Oh, the ball spills loose through Parker. There's a contest here and Haynes takes the mark. Well done by Iden. What was I doing? I was going to check the multi. Sorry. Getting distracted. Getting frazzled. So Toby Green needed 15. Okay. So there needs to be less than 12 more points in this game. 12 points or less. Either way, for my multi. Sydney need a win. And Toby Green needs how many more disposals? Chuck him in the guts. There is 5 minutes 45 remaining on the clock for those asking. Toby Green, come on, mate. Lift. He's only had 10 touches. Yeah, no, the multi's done. It's only $5. He's wrapped up that time. Mitch says next goal win vibes. I agree with that. Certainly if the Giants kick it. Carlton Ben's going for Sydney. Momentum's equal now, says Beanie. Yeah, it's hard to pick who's going to win this. Really hard. Kelly from the stoppage. Oh, the ball's going to spill out of bounds. This is incredible. Weird question, Jesse, but do you have any thoughts on gambling within the AFL and how the AFL would rather advertise gambling than anti-gambling? It is an interesting one. I think at the end of the day, the money's going to talk. Hopper has the ball. Oh, any score could, well, not, and actually it won't matter if it was behind, but he's turned it over anyway. Gets dark early in Tassie. What time is it in Tassie? Is it the same time as Melbourne? So 5:30? Yeah, good point. 5:50. Yeah, it's an interesting one. I think it will snap back the other way. Eventually, they won't be able to advertise gambling to the same extent. But so they're cashing in now. I kind of get it because the revenue for the AFL has dried up. Like, they have no money. So I think in the short term, I don't really care. I'm really not a big gambler myself. I don't really advocate it, nor do I really feel strongly against it either. Obviously, problematic gambling is a big problem. But I think for most people, it's kind of like alcohol in that most people get it right and then a minority don't, which is still very serious. So Sydney here, getting some overlap. He finds Warner in the centre of the ground. He's got an acre of space. He needs to make this kick count. It's got to be a good one. It's going to be a pack forward line. Oh, Parker. Oh, Parker with the blind. He wanted to find Buddy. And he couldn't quite do it, but the ball goes out of bounds. Jesse, you going to stream the D's lines? Maybe. I'm feeling good so far, but I am tired. But we'll think about this game first. Buddy needs 5 for those asking to kick 1,000. So, yeah, that dream's over this week. For this week, I mean. GWS win the clearance out of... a mark is taken by, I think that's Rampy. 60 out. Too far out to score. 3 minutes to go. I reckon there's 1 goal left in this game. He's sent it very deep. That's right to the line, and it's touched over. 3 points the margin. A draw almost impossible now. Crowd is very pro-Swans, somebody points out. Yeah, I'd imagine they have a lot more members. So the winner plays Geelong next week. At the moment, it's the Giants who hold the upper hand. But Hickey takes an uncontested grab on the wing, and the Swans will load up again. Mighty Angus says, are you going to stream the Dogs-Dons game? No, but I think Druzy will. I might actually see if Druzy wants me to come over. He probably won't. He's too cool for me. Buddy Franklin's taken the mark! Oh my goodness! Could you have written the script any other way? Can you imagine if he was on 999? That's the only way it would top this. Fuck, could you imagine if he was kicking his 1,000th goal to win the game? This is big. He is a clutch player. And a goal here would break hearts for the Giants fans. Oh my goodness. I think he actually might miss this, eh? I reckon he's going to miss. This is his range. He's kicking it. He's missed! I knew he was going to miss. 2 points, 2 minutes. Fuck! What a game, guys. Alright, important kick out for the Giants. Any mistake here could be crucial. It's a launched kick to almost the centre of the ground. A Hickey again! He kicks backwards. He's opening up the ground. Who is that on the wing there? Is that Dawson, 34. This has got to be a good kick. It's an okay kick. It doesn't make up much ground, but the Swans move a little bit closer. A minute to go. 1 kick or kick and a half away from goal. He's really propped that up, really up and under. Someone's got to take a mark. No one does. It's a crumbing kick. Oh my God. Oh, what the hell? Well, 2 seconds ago, I said a draw was impossible. Now we are 1 behind away from the scores being level. With 1:17 on the clock, the Giants cannot turn this ball over. This is one of the best finals in a long time. Another kick out of the wing. Where's Tom Hickey? You got to watch him. Have the Swans left themselves too much? Golden sends it inside 50. A mark could win it. Buddy's at the ball. Heaney. The ball's out of bounds. A minute to go. The ball's deep in the pocket. If this is a draw, the stream goes on for another half an hour. Oh, 1 minute to go. I should have said, the draw was impossible 3 minutes ago. There's been 2 behinds in that time. The Swans have been dominating for the second half of this game. A free kick's paid. Oh, the Giants get a free kick. Fuck. That's soft. That's a soft free kick. Now this is pod racing. If GWS get a clean exit out of here, they win the game. Perryman launches it. Giants fly. Toby Green's in there. The ball's wrapped up. I reckon the Giants have got it. 36 seconds to go. "35 seconds. Tapped in. Toby Green's wrapped up. The Giants need to kill every contest here. Sydney need a clean break. 70 in the chat, guys. Appreciate it. Hickey, he's been huge. Other than that free kick. Oh, and the Giants get the ball out. I reckon that's it. Oh, Toby Green with a great contest there. He might have knocked himself out. He's won the free kick and he's won the game for the Giants. That's it. Oh, unlucky from McCartan there. The free kick's there. He's a bit unlucky. The Giants will face the Cats next week, likely at Optus Stadium. The siren goes and the Giants eliminate the Swans. Thoughts go out to Heath Sheehan right now. Far out. That is one of the best games, one of the best finals we've seen this decade. You'd struggle to find too many finals better than that. A few F's are in the chat at the moment. How good was that game? Against all odds, the Giants, who were much less fancy to these two teams, win their third final over the Swans. And Sydney heartbreak. It looks like Parker's in tears. And after a 15-win season, the Swans are eliminated. I would love some stats. How many teams in the last 20 to 30 years have won 15 games in a season and only lasted one final? Most teams who win 15 games in a season are in the top 4. Some win the flag. Richmond was one of them in 2017. And the Swans don't even make it past week 1. My non-footy girlfriend legit just said to me there's always next week. That hurts. Hey Jesse, we got what we wanted. A brilliant game. Good call there. As a neutral, it was a fantastic game. I was barracking for Sydney. And it was an amazing game. Thank you, Ronster, who just said he subbed and liked. He said, great call of the game. I appreciate it, mate. Great game from start to finish. Says Cubby. Well said. I can't believe that. Rip Jesse's multi. Yeah, that's all right. I think it would have failed on Toby Green as well. We didn't quite get the 15, even though he played really great. Chloe Goodridge says, I've never watched a game of footy before this season, but with some help from just the tips, I won my work tipping comp and I'm hooked. Amazing. Thank you, Chloe. You legend. I don't know how the hell we helped you win anything, particularly me. My footy tipping sucked. You must have beat me this year easily. Maybe you followed Drew's because he did pretty well. But no, I appreciate the support, so thank you. Glad you enjoyed it. There goes my bet for the Swans to win it all this year, Chris. Yeah, they were vulnerable. This is the team they really didn't want to face week 1. The Giants. Incredible. Carlton says, got to admit it was a good game. Next year for Buddy then? Yeah, absolutely. It would have been cool to see him maybe get the 1,000 in Perth, but Yeah, wow. R.I.P. Jesse's mullet. No, it's still there. It's still there. Probably needs a bit of a trim. Bit of bed hair. He says on 4 o'clock on a Saturday. I now hate the Giants. I don't blame you, Heath. 2 out of 2 in tips so far. Good tipping, mate. I tipped Port last night, but I tipped the Swans today. So, huge. Huge. Giants could be the premiers. I don't see it, but I could see them beating Geelong next week and making a prelim no one saw coming. Dylan says Toby Green is the man. He was very, very good today. Heaney probably my best on ground. But Green was hugely impactful, no doubt. Yeah. Sorry for you, Heath. After all that, you only last one more week than the Eagles. No, but it has to be said, a huge season of positives for the Swans. No one saw this coming. 15 wins. Outstanding. Big, big sound. So again, the Giants are clutch in finals. They'll play another away final on neutral venues. So that's the other outlier here, as I said before, is that 2 away finals for the Giants will now become 2 neutral venues. And that is almost guaranteed to be the case. In fact, it will be the case. They will only play neutral games this year. Because if they win against Geelong... Wait. If they beat Geelong... They might play Brisbane. That's possible. But it's probably more likely that they play Melbourne, which would be probably Adelaide or Melbourne, the venue. Heaney, top 5 small to medium forward. Good call. Great player. Great game. Che says, I generally thought we had that. Yeah. It was just a case of too many of their opportunities were behinds instead of goals, and you go back to the James Bell miss. That was probably the turning point. Mitch says, awesome stream, mate. Thank you for tuning in, mate. Heading back to work now. If you stream Bombers tomorrow, I'll try jump on. Everyone go go follow True Footy on Insta. Thanks, mate. Appreciate that. I'm certainly not going to, now that I think about it, stream tomorrow's game. Druzy will. Small chance I tune in for that one. I might attend to speak to him. I'll have to just invite myself. But yeah, amazing game. So we got an hour and a half for the Melbourne-Brisbane game. Good chance. Yeah, I hope to stream that. I'll see if Dylan is cool with it. But yeah, amazing. Amazing final. Port the only team with home finals. Yeah, could Brisbane not host Beanie? So if Brisbane win tonight, could they get a home prelim, or is that not going to be allowed? I think it's an issue of Port win the flag and the only team to play home finals. But, yeah. Cool, guys. I'm probably going to wrap up in about 2 minutes. Sorry, Chase. Sorry to hear that, mate. I feel for you. It's a cruel end to what is an amazing season by the Swans, and I think when the dust settles, they'll reflect on this being a big sign of the future. Talia Brown says, Toby the flog. You're going to stream Melbourne-Brisbane game. Tell you what, I'm going to call Drews after this, and I'll see if he wants to come over. But I would love to. I'd love to. Thanks, Mozzie. Appreciate you being here. Thanks for those who like the stream. If you can before you go, that'd be fantastic. Subscribe if you haven't. AFL will never ban Toby despite his high fend-off and the umpire contact. Yeah, that's a good point. Does anyone think he's in trouble for that one on, was it Weeks? Could be iffy. Probably, I'd rather not see him suspended for those. I think fines, certainly for the umpire contact. Thanks, Cam. I would really like to stream the next game. So I'll make a decision soon. But I would like to. So you might see it pop up soon. I'll whip up a thumbnail or something like that. Not sure. I think Brisbane could host now that they're in stage 3 or something out of lockdown. Yeah. I don't know what the rules are. It's very complicated. I just kind of wait and see what happens before I really start thinking about venues. Bitters in the chat. Welcome, mate. Goodbye, Jake. Thanks for tuning in. Bean says, can't wait for next week. Yeah, Geelong versus GWS could be a real contest. Harry says, if Bell had kicked that goal, we would have won. I think that was the turning point, to be honest. See you, Beans. Thanks for those who like the stream, up to 141. Look at my Insta. I'll do this very quickly. It might be on the True Footy one. So, sometimes I'm really bad at looking at the True Footy one, guys. I've got a voice clip here from Huntsman and I'm a little nervous. Ignatius Cozier just dropped $3. Legend. Thank you, mate. Appreciate it. Really appreciate the support. Thanks, you guys. I'll keep my eyes open, Cam. Thanks, mate. Stream tomorrow. Druzy will be streaming tomorrow, so tune into that one. I might stream tonight. We had 20,000 at the Gabba in round 23. You watched it, mate? Oh, yeah. No, it was more like... My understanding was there was a chance that finals were just going to be put in as many... if possible, keep it to all in Perth or all in Adelaide. And to avoid crossing borders, that's why there might not be another final in Brisbane. I hope it's at the Gabba. But I don't know. Like, for instance, Melbourne know they're going to Perth already, despite not knowing if they've won. So that makes me think, are they going to just play as many games in Perth as they can? Who knows? Matthew says, as a Geelong fan, I'm worried about my best mate that goes for Sydney. I don't want to go through that. Yeah, true. If the Giants play like this, I reckon they've got the Cats next week. That's a good call, Mitch. I agree with that. How cheek would it be if the Giants knocked out the Cats after Jeremy Cameron left them? That would be amazing. Yeah, that would be really cool. Jesse, I remember giving you shtick for West Coast when they were playing badly. I'm a Geelong fan. I now believe in karma. Yeah, well, your side's still alive, so fair play. Supercatch Coach Swan says finals losses like this are worse than death. Let's not go too far, but yeah, I understand the pain for sure. Cool, guys. We're probably going to wrap it up there. Really appreciate you guys tuning in. Those who like the stream, those who donated, really appreciate it. Maybe back in an hour. We'll see. But this was really good fun. So, yeah, thanks, guys. Thanks for tuning into a great game. And